Yeah, let me hear the story.
Yeah, so I was cutting up a habanero today. This is
Yeah.
not as bad as it's gonna. It's like it sounds like it's gonna be really bad to start the story, but it's actually
It
not that
sounds like
bad.
you're gonna rub your eyes or something,
It's
like at
so
some
close to
point.
that. It's scary. Okay,
Okay,
it's so
what'd you
close to that.
do?
So I had got it. Like I was cutting it. I was holding it really tight and I was cutting it really thin.
Yeah.
And I washed my hands right after because I've done the mistakes before. I've touched
Mm-hmm.
all of the wrong things before after handling really spicy food. But I think some of it got under my fingernail.
Oh.
So I scratched a part on my face where I have like a little bit of
Oh
a
no.
sunburn,
Oh.
and it like cut into it, and like the habanero got in there, and my like just beneath my eye, like the cheekbone or your part that like goes up
Ooh.
near your eye started burning
Uh.
like it was on fire. And it's the
Ah.
worst spot to have hurt because then I was like, wait, do I have habanero on my fingers? And then I like couldn't touch anything. So I was just
Yeah.
like, son of a bitch. So
Oh
I had
no.
to cut my fingernails and wash my hands. It was frightening.
Dude, that reminds me of this time where I was really so I had to grab a couple things. I was doing like tacos or burritos or something, and I had to grab a couple things after work. I was at the grocery store,
Yeah.
and I was really really hungry, but I like only had like some random vegetables. I
Okay.
was like, oh, like I can handle spicy food. Like I'll eat a habanero.
Wait, is it
So
raw?
I just straight up raw. I was like really hungry. I just like wanted something to snack on. It was the only thing that was like
Now,
really worth
had you had a
snacking on.
coriander at this point, or was this just you're
No,
having a
I
long
was
day and you
totally
were tired?
I was like long day, really hungry, and just like took
Yeah,
the
really
opportunity.
hungry. It's really hungry.
Yeah,
I've done it
yeah.
before, but never because I thought it would be a good snack.
It was hot. I knew it was gonna be really hot regardless, but it was like hotter than I'd anticipated because it was like it was really hot.
So my friend Marty once taught me this trick. I think we had to be
Yeah.
in middle school. This is wait, how many years ago would this be? 13ish years ago. Um,
Yeah.
so what you do is you have a bread eating competition with somebody,
Okay.
and but you roll up all the bread ahead of time because like you're supposed to like have this mosh posh of bread, but with theirs you just stick a shit ton of habaneros in it. And so you you say, okay, ready, go, and you start eating, and you're eating your bread, which is totally just bread, and it's bread is
Yeah.
hard to eat really fast. I don't know if you've ever tried to do like the saltine challenge, but like
No,
it's really like all your
I
saliva
haven't
kind of gets
done
dried
that
up,
one.
and so. But they start like freaking out, like, what
Oh
the
my
hell
gosh.
is this? This is so hot. And like they're panicked and stuff, and that's when you beat them in a competition and rub it in their face. I only
Wow.
learned this
So is
because
this how you win?
No,
Is this how you win
Lost
all your
Marty
competitions?
lost like 5 competitions in a row. We're doing stupid ass shit. We're like 12 or 13 or whatever. And
Wait, so you did this?
no, he did this to somebody
Oh,
he was
he did.
playing
Okay,
against, and I
okay,
thought it
okay.
was the funniest shit.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty devious way to win at a bread. How did he talk someone into a bread eating competition to begin
We
with,
were
though?
doing really dumb shit. We were doing
Yeah,
shit that was like,
you just had
how long could you keep an egg in your mouth without breaking it? Like, that's dumb. Why
how
would you do
A
that?
what?
long time.
Oh shit, he is a boy.
Not
A
just
long, long time.
Okay, honestly, how long do you think you could?
Like how? Well, I need to breathe at some point, right?
You can't.
you can
No,
do
it's
your
actually it's not
nose.
that bad to breathe, even through your mouth, because you could keep it
Oh,
anywhere in
okay.
your mouth. Like you could cheek it, you could put it just on your tongue and like hold it up. Like there's not. It's just 13-year-olds yelling at each other. There wasn't a lot of set rules, so
Yeah, yeah.
you kind of just go ham with
Totally.
it.
Yeah. So who's playing? What are the teams?
I think it's shirts versus skins today.
Yeah,
Is this,
definitely shirts
is
or
this
skins.
playoffs?
I'm rooting for skins, honestly,
I think
but
skins are gonna do it.
you know,
What?
It's Sensei Randall's intermediate Kickin Squids versus the Silver Drillers.
yeah.
Okay. And what league?
Economy.
Oh, good.
These are two econ classics.
Yeah, these are Goliaths of their time.
I mean, they're yeah, yeah.
Were you gonna try to upstage me in some type of?
No, no. I was gonna insult them. I was gonna only actually no. Sorry, only Xavier's team. I was only gonna insult Xavier's team because he's no fly. I have seen him pop off on Vigar though. Last time I casted Xavier, actually, he was I like flamed him a little bit. I think he heard me in the game because
Wait,
as
don't
soon
flame
as
him.
he
Don't flame him because I think he might get
yeah,
mad if you
as
do.
soon as he heard it, he started like he stepped it up a notch. It was like solo bolo, killing everyone. Like he was just like hiding, lurking in the jungle as Vigar and just like assassinating people. It was brutal.
Very
That was,
avant-garde way to play him, but no, still
it
cool.
was very avant-garde. Dude, it was pretty nuts. He definitely had a couple of plays that are pretty insane. Goliath. Of course, Xavier is in the chat too.
Roselle. Okay, here's the thing. He says Goliath. He's playing the humble card. Listen up. Saint.
All right, Roselle.
Wait, you have Saint Roselle and Saint Valentine. Your own name is
It's-
Roselle. Could you be more confusing in my brain?
So confusing.
You know, I just learned to read. Okay, so Goliath, we've been here 4 seasons and made playoffs once. Yeah, but here's the thing that Silver Drillers does. Silver Drillers plays one game out. Doesn't matter who they're playing. They could be playing the best team. They could be playing the worst team. They will play one game out of their mind and win, and they'll play another game and lose, even if they're playing a team much worse than them.
100%.
So they're like the 1-1 squadron. Bobes, I'm clearly fucking streaming. I'm not playing an ARAM with you, Bobes. You idiot.
Classic Bob's move. Yeah, no, actually, that is very true though. Silver Drillers. So I forget which season it was, but my first season, actually no, it's my second season technically on the LBLCS, but like my first season is like a starting roster player, like more involved. We played against Silver Drillers, and they were the team in our league that would go like 1-1 every week against every team, pretty much.
Right.
Like they could win to everyone, but they could also beat everyone. And I think that definitely has held up with time.
Yeah, I think it's a drafting thing too. I think some games they'll draft like super crazy and it will work.
Yeah.
They'll be like, okay, now we've won this game. Now we can draft even fucking crazier. And you look at the game, you're like,
yeah.
no, wait, don't do that yet.
Like to make a comparison, it's kind of like Reapered, like the coach in like the LCS. He like, you know, they're like a team that will draft crazy stuff, and sometimes like the crazy stuff like pops off, or they don't draft as crazy, but have like 1 or 2 picks that are maybe a little bit unconventional, and they do really well with it, and then everyone's like, whoa, massive brain. But then if they fail, it's like, oh geez, like why would you pick that, you know? So it's like it's a high risk, high reward kind of thing, but yeah, I respect him for it so much.
Here's what I'm gonna say. We had a really healthy conversation before we went live, before not Jerome joined us, about the word pop off, or like the phrase pop off, and the opposite of what it should be. And you kind of brought something to my attention, and I want to bring it up to everybody. That what was this you were talking about? Urban Dictionary, real quick.
So I'd love to get not Jerome's input on like the opposite of popping off. Like what would that be to you? I had a word that I thought was pretty good, but I'm curious what you come up with.
Oh, I am at, hold on.
What?
I feel like, you know, the opposite of popping off is like receding into yourself, sort of like a dying star.
Never
now he's
imploding.
Yeah, you're imploding, but in like more like a grand cosmic sense. Like you've collapsed into nothing.
All right, well, fuck our idea, Dutch. This is way better. Let's run with this.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I had deflating, but
deflating. Okay,
cosmic implosion is.
Like you're playing deflation so poorly that like they've opened. There's a tear in time and space.
Bomo Sapien, thanks for the sub, dude. Super appreciate it. Much love, my dude. Yo, guys, did you guys know this?
What do we know?
Hang on, let me get the stats up. Okay, Xavier has the least CS of any LBLCS player per minute. Did you guys know that?
It's true. It can't be a lie.
How is it negative?
It's literally negative. I don't know how he does it. It's actually like a cosmic anomaly.
A lot of cosmic shit tonight.
Speaking of cosmic things, Xavier's CS numbers are a cosmic anomaly. Wait, what? Yeah, we found him out. He's mad because we were exposing him.
We are exposing the truth. He actually can't hit CS.
He can't. He doesn't know.
That's not true at all. I have no idea what his CS.
The CS actually he only gets hit. He just walks into lane and lets them hit him.
He dies to minions more often than he kills them.
If you just die to minions more often. Eventually, you go
Holy
negative.
shit! Could you imagine that?
What if that's how the game works? What a crazy mechanic that would be.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna get up the leaderboard for. Where is it? Economy.
Yeah.
Holy shit! There's a lot of games stored in this. 115 games that we're reading off of here.
Economy is actually the most important league in the LBLCS,
It
and
is.
I'll fight anyone who says otherwise.
It is the cornerstone of the existence of the LBLCS or something. I don't know. Those are just words I was saying. I don't really know their importance. All right, I'm going to tell you his real CS per minute. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want you to guess what it is, though. No, first, guess his KDA first, actually, from this year.
All right, can you give me like a range?
Sure.
Can
2
I
to
get
10.
like a 2 to 10? I feel like okay, so this team has been playing pretty well this season. He's been popping off to mid. 2 to 10. I want to give him a pretty high number. He's got to have like a 7.4. He's doing pretty well. It's either 7.4 or it's abysmally low, and it's less than 2.
Well, I almost
There's
thought
no
about
in
giving
between.
you a range that wouldn't be accurate, but I didn't do it. It's almost.
So that's
4.
why I'm saying it's either 7.4 or it's less than 2.
He's on the upper half of 3.
But okay, I was off. But I like my confidence.
CS per minute. Are you ready for it?
Okay, yeah.
It's 6.4.
Okay,
That's respectable,
good.
especially knowing how much he does.
I actually would have
stuff.
guessed much lower on the CS per minute.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have shot at 5.5. I think I would have been off.
Yeah, I was like, it's probably around 5. But I feel like I would have guessed his CS is low, but that he kills a lot of people. That's where my head was. But I was wrong. So
all right. Who has the highest kill participation out of these two teams? That has played more than one series, because I'm not counting this one person. Out of all the games they've played.
Am I answering this, or is not Jerome?
Not Jerome. Out of the 10 players we see.
Rat House.
Is that right?
I have no idea. I was just picked the first name I saw.
Holy shit! It's right by 0.40%.
Dude, massive brain.
Dude,
wow.
you're freaking me out. Wait, who's gonna win now? Before you see draft, who's gonna win?
Who's gonna win?
Yeah. Oh,
Sensei Randal's in a 2-0 slaughter.
Whoa! Holy shit! Okay. Wow,
I would dare
really
say
confident.
that we're about to witness some popping off and some cosmic implosion.
I don't know if Cosmic Implosion is gonna sit well while casting.
I think it
Darius
will.
is really having a Cosmic Implosion up in the top lane.
Yeah, that's funny, right?
Yeah, I guess. No.
Like, you don't have to use it, okay?
Dutch, you
It can
gotta
be
drop
like-
down there.
It can be like my signature catchphrase, you know, like Matt Vasgersian, who does the baseball games. He has like Santa Maria, and no one else does that. So this could be mine.
You actually just don't get outside enough. Everyone's been doing the Santa Maria thing for years.
Yeah.
And he does it like more
Good.
and more better.
More
I
better.
literally heard it at the gas station this morning.
No way you heard someone say Santa Maria. All right, in the world of Major League Baseball, amongst like the 6-year-old white dudes who commentate it,
Would you
he's
say
the trendsetter.
6-year-old white dude?
6P.
Oh, 16.
No, I've actually never. I'm very.
Can you
probably only
imagine
heard
if
that
kids
said,
were
like, twice in my
casters?
life.
Only you had to be 6 or younger to cast sports games. Could you imagine that shit? Fuck.
That
It would be way
that'd
better.
be
It'd
really
be better.
difficult
No, it'd
or
be
really
better.
easy to watch those games.
I wouldn't watch them for the sport anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like watching the LBLCS.
I don't think you get a 6-year-old to pay attention to a screen showing League of Legends long enough to get a cast.
Man, could you?
I don't. It'd be a challenge.
Yeah, I think you'd have to bribe them.
Buggle, when are you getting kids? Come on.
You'd have to bribe them, because I think you're right. I think they'd be like, "What the fuck is this? Why am I?" Not
get a
that 6-year-olds are
cookie.
dropping the F-bomb live on casts, but they would look at you like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, they would. Yeah, difficult.
All right, back to the quiz. Who's got the worst? Wait, no. Who's got the most deaths out of these 10 players? Damn it! It's not who I want it to be.
I'm gonna
I
guess
wanted
waffles.
to be Xavier so
Xavier's
badly.
fourth highest.
Waffles.
No.
No, he
He's
plays
fifth
tanks.
highest. He's fifth highest.
Oh wait, he's only okay.
That's pretty middle of the pack though. There's only 10 people in the game.
Is it Robo?
Is it Robo? No, he's actually almost the best.
Oh, good on you, Robo. Is it Yo Daddy's daddy?
No. Strictly
Okay.
because of the lack of gameplay. He's only played in 2 different series, I think, for them. He's their top sub. So he's only played 4 or 6 total games or something. So he just wouldn't have that number of deaths. It's actually Gluttony, who I think also has the most kills. And on his team, he has the most assists, which is mind-blowing. I feel like my mind is blown.
Your mind might be blown.
How does a man have the most kills, most deaths, and most assists on the team from the ADC position? What does he play? What is this? Wait, what does this man play that he's doing? Is he playing just Kaisa and he's just darting in?
He might be. Wait, most kills and most deaths? Yeah, he
Most
must
kills,
be.
most deaths, and most assists, which is equally confused. Oh no, I'm sorry. Roselle, St. Valentine is the most assists, but he's the second most.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, I don't know what his champ pool looks like. I'm kind of curious now, though.
Wow, this is a weird. I'm looking at these stats right now. I wish I could just copy and paste a picture into chat so everybody could see them. That's almost like what I could do to the screen, but I'm waiting for them to start drafting.
Do we? So we have a slow computer, IT solutions. We've been neglecting paying our IT guys at the LBLCS though, so we're hoping
pay
the
anyone at the
gnomes do it,
LBLCS.
but the
We just don't-
gnomes we haven't been feeding them, so honestly I don't think they're gonna do it.
Guys, we're having technical difficulties. We are going to run an ad break right now.
Yeah, hopping for that.
So, guys, we'll be right back. If you're a sub, you're going to listen to Not Jerome sing his favorite song. Go ahead. We're live on the ad break.
This is your time.
Is this the song? Are you muted? What's happening?
I never know.
I was worried I DC'd because nothing was going on. I was like, did I disconnect? And
I was just
stream's
waiting
off?
for Jerome to play his song.
Am I supposed to be playing something?
You're supposed to be
You're
singing your favorite
singing.
song to us.
Oh,
And don't half-ass it, I'll know.
I really don't think you would know the difference between me half-assing singing and me singing as hard as I possibly could.
Well, one would be half-ass and the other one would have a whole ass. I would know.
An entire ass.
Yeah, one entire top to bot, cheek to cheek.
Cheek to cheek.
Yeah. I'd know.
Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to decline this tempting offer.
Okay, so here's the thing wrong with the LBLCS stream account, Twitch account. It won't let me run 1 minute ads every minute, so we can't just watch TV ads the whole stream. So that's what I'm upset about. It also said, maybe don't run ads when you have this little people watching. Hey, fuck you, Twitch.
Yeah, what the hell? That's so rude.
Don't you tell me how to be
really
rude.
rude.
Don't you tell... I know
That's
how to be
very-
rude. Okay? Don't you be rude to me.
Yeah, hold on, Twitch.
Fucking...
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Ooh, is that your favorite song? Go ahead.
Oh, baby. I don't know the rest of the words. You ain't seen nothing yet.
To be clear, I'm laughing at you.
Good.
Yeah.
Laughing at, laughing with.
Oh, I've been there before.
Wow. Could you guys hear that loud buzz sound of my dryer finishing?
No. Did you hear the train? I muted myself.
I
tried to
swear I heard a noise and I was like, hold up, what's that at? Like, why are we listening to that shit?
Are
this
you
is
on
like-
board a train right now? Is that what you just said?
I live stream.
So much
You're on like an
coming here
Amtrak
live
train.
It's actually the Denny's booth on a train.
This is
In
this
put
is
a
a
Denny's on a
Denny's to
train?
go.
It's a Denny's to go on a train in Vermont. Yes.
Well, how many corianders are you gonna chugga before you chew your food there at Denny's?
So they actually have a max cap at 20, but their minimum is 10. So I once you get started, once you hit number 1, you have to make it to at
You
least 10.
have to get to 10.
You're
Could you
not
wait?
allowed to leave.
I love an endless breakfast thing, but you have to eat this much. You go to Denny's, yeah, endless pancakes, but you have to eat at least 10, or it doesn't count. You gotta pay for all 9.
It doesn't. It only counts if you eat 10.
It's fucking so weird.
That's great. That's the kind of marketing we need.
That is the kind of marketing we need.
The LBS, we need minimum caps on pancakes. I've actually never been to Denny's.
What? You never had a
protest.
Grand Slam?
No, he's
Yeah,
had
no.
that, and actually he went Santa Maria. When
I've
he did it.
been-
Wow.
I've been in the parking lot of a Denny's, but I've never actually been
Oh.
inside. a Denny's.
Wait, this guy's got a
Oh.
Modelo memer sticks. Oh God, wait, toss it over, bro. Just kidding. I got coriander. I'm good. It's actually, I did this thing that's a mistake, by the way. I put
What?
I put it in a
What'd you
bottle, like a giant bottle, so I don't have to keep getting up. Because I figured, like, what's my biggest weakness as a caster? Other
Having to
than
use the washroom.
having to use the washroom. Wait,
I'm gonna take a gargantuan shit mid cast every time without fail.
can you imagine? Oh, I wouldn't mute my mic too.
Yeah, I'm gonna run a 23-minute ad break, guys. That's about as much time as I need.
No, it's that I always have to get up to get a new ice cold coriander, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just got a giant water bottle, and I just filled it full of coriander. Now I don't have to get up.
Wow.
See, I just have a fridge like 10 paces away from me, so like I can, in the middle of a team fight, you guys are all yelling, I just sprint away for a beer, come back. Wow, great fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say a mini fridge would be. Would it? Oh,
One
Yeah,
mini fridge
like a
wouldn't hold
desk-
enough.
a desktop. A
Get
desktop.
a full fucking fridge.
tube.
Capacity
What I'm
constraints.
saying is you get a keg of coriander in the kitchen, right? And you
Yeah.
get a really long tube, and you like wire it in.
Yeah,
and
yeah, you've got it like hardwired into
You get
your
a hard
house.
main line through the house.
Yeah.
And then have it come out, and then it has an attachment on your desk, and then you just sip it like a straw.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. In fact,
I do like
Nothing
that
wrong
idea.
with that. It's
The
the
reason-
most logical solution.
do I? Can I get an LBLCS sponsored keg and just use that?
You want to reuse the same keg?
Yeah, just like, can we do that? Can we just put it in there? God, and can I get people to do it for me? Is really what I'm asking.
To wire the keg, or to
Wire
get
it,
the
pump it,
keg?
drink it, do
Pump
it all
it.
for me. I'm
They wanna
tired, you
do
know.
Do you want
everything
them
for-
to do the drinking as well? That makes this whole exercise seem sort of.
No, as long as I get the
Futile.
effects. I don't know how it's
Oh,
gonna
okay.
work, but
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just sick of swallowing. I'm not gonna swallow my pride
Yeah.
anymore,
Amen.
or my thoughts. Everything's out there. All right.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Makes sense.
We've all been there. Is this game ever going to
Is that
start?
is
I
that a
think the
royal we?
question on-
I don't fucking answer for you. What am I fucking cheap?
This game.
Okay,
may-
I need to make a lobby because
Sorry.
apparently I'm the only account that is smart.
It is the only count
Client is
that
super
has a
fucked
brain.
up. Okay.
Is the Buggle count?
Stank.
Not him. He doesn't
I'm
have-
naming it.
Large brain, but the account that he owns has a massive.
Oh, it's fucking giganormous, bro.
It's crazy. He's still learning how to read, yet has an account with.
Oh, I want to publicly apologize for any GIF I may have posted in community that may have not been appropriate. I did not notice that there may or may not have been images that were not suitable for web inside of the image. They were kind of hidden. It's not really
Yeah.
my fault. And I don't even know if they were
If
inappropriate.
anything, pointing it out right now brings more attention to the issue.
Why was it? Why could I access that if it was not? I don't understand. I am a child.
It's
They
like-
should not let me do that
Yeah,
shit.
they. I don't know what.
That's on them.
Who?
That's
who
on
gave you
Mr.
access to
Discord.
computer
That's on
time?
Mr. Discord, if anybody.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. Which one of your parents gave you access to computer time today, Buggle?
Huh?
As a 6-year-old.
Do you have like a punch card you need to fill
Yeah.
out, or
Why would I punch a card? It's already so fucking. This guy knows nothing. You know nothing about work. God.
Okay.
Punching cars, making names.
Wait, that was so beta the way you said okay. That's hilarious.
No, that was Sigma. I know it's not worth fighting.
Shit. Omega it up, bro. Low budget else. I did make the lobby, Roselle. Hey, I got an idea for you dingoes. Hey, dingoes. Just line up however you want and tell each other where y'all going, cause this shit is whack. That's what I typed in.
Yeah. I think that's good.
I think the best part about that is that those messages are going to come out way before they hear me talk about it.
Yeah.
So it's going to look like I'm reading it. Jerome, you got to jump down, big dog.
Chat is disabled.
Do not ever tell me what to do.
Oh,
Understood?
Shit. Should I have not told you what to do?
I'm living on my Omicron male mindset right now. I don't have time for your shit, Bugle.
Yeah. I once didn't have time.
I'm not watching that YouTube link, Kevin. Oh, you know what? Kevin just reminds me of snakes, which reminds me of the story really quick while this draft begins when we finally begin the game. I caught a snake in a glue trap the other day. Like a snake. Like a big old boy.
I already know. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, honestly. What kind of snake was it?
It's a black rat snake. It was pretty decent, dude. Like
in
it was
a glue trap.
Yes.
That's some strong, dude. That is, honestly, you should write a review on that product wherever you bought it. Like,
caught a fucking snake. The only
dude,
problem is if I didn't catch that snake, I'd probably have way less mice.
Yeah, but like, okay, hear me out though. That's some strong glue. If it caught a big old snake.
Yeah, it's true.
That's good glue. Right
that is
there.
Good glue. Goodglue.com.
Goodglue.com, sponsor of the LPLCS.
Diego and Ezreal band away.
Draft.
Band away. God, these guys are just doing stuff.
Does anyone not ban Brand against Sensei Randals?
Yeah.
Actually, they do, and then they lose games against it.
Yeah, and then it gets banned the next series. And then the next series, they wouldn't have played it, so they'll leave it up again. It's a vicious cycle.
You might get a triple. Oh, the MF. The MF actually is a really good ban because they spam pick MF.
3 of us can't see chat. As long as you can, Mr. Man. As long as you can. So 3 bans. Oh, they're going to first pick that Nautilus. That's a pretty powerful first pickup for them.
It's a flex, for sure. It's a good one. Waffles is notorious for playing that. But you never know.
You've got to be a bad guy to be notorious.
Rat House.
He's just torious. That's the root of the word. PC Marshmallow. It's weird. You just got banned from the LBLCS. It's super weird. My fingers slipped. This fucking shit boy.
I didn't mean to do it.
Karma picked up for Silver Drillers. Karma can be played in multiple roles as well, but it could be going on the support where you think it is. Pantheon picked up another possible flex.
I mean, that's kind of a nice draft advantage early on from Silver Drillers, as we were talking about. Like, Karma can be flexed top, mid, and support. Technically, Pantheon can also be flexed. Generally, nowadays, it's flexed like mid and support, but technically can go elsewhere.
Yeah.
Picked up probably mid/AD carry flex, although I wouldn't be surprised if Xavier is taking it for himself in the mid lane early on. He is.
So what's interesting here is you can actually have, I was going to say, pick a support/mid laner. Now you have a tri-flex going on against a double flex. This is actually a pretty wild draft for economy.
Yeah, just pick like Zillion here. Confuse the hell out of them.
So this is a wild draft. I think I don't want to say too much about where I think things are going. I'm pretty confident I know where everything's going on the side of Sensei Randals.
Same.
But it is a flex.
All of them are flexes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Pantheon and Karma are also great flexes.
Orianna, now that they've locked that in, Pantheon's ability to go mid, though, is pretty much taken away. So is Karma's. So, I mean, assume Karma is going to be in that bot lane now. It doesn't have to be, but it's more likely now that mid is taken away from both of those champs.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Karma support, and then we see Zerath support into it. With Nautilus going jungle as well as Pantheon going jungle. Could be wrong, but
Pantheon can still be top as well.
Yeah, you can definitely happy. Pantheon top definitely works out pretty well, and could be seen. I could see them still having it as a flex pick. Pantheon's probably going to stay as a flex maybe until they.
Looks
I
like
think you
they
kind
think
of
it's
have to
top.
pick 80 carry 4 here. I don't see why you wouldn't. And then you get a counter pick either top or I guess jungle, or I mean, because I feel like Karma or Pantheon, one of those kind of almost has to be the support. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that their support's already locked in here. It's very unlikely that it's the Karma top and the Pantheon in the jungle. It could be, but it's unlikely that that's the case.
Yeah.
Because it
I
also looks
doubt
like
it.
they think Pantheon's top, or at least one of them is, because Zach is going to be banned
Mhm.
away. And let's see what this next ban is, though.
They're also really pinching the side of Sensei Randall's on the 80 carry pool. I know Kevin has allergies, usually plays Misfortune with his like other picks being Ash and Tristana. I actually don't know if he's played anything else besides those 3 picks in the LBLCS. I'm
Um,
curious if he has, but I don't know if he has. I
There's
don't think
definitely
he
a way for me
has.
to check that. Okay, so they're actually not sure where the Pantheon is. So they're going to ban one of each. They're saying, okay, of the two things that can mess us up here, from each roll, here they are. The Sivir is going to be hovered. That's a super good engage comp with Karma E, Sivir R to
Yeah.
get in there quick for Pantheon's engage. But you lock in Sivir, you're going to be outranged by Xerath here, and there could be easy pickings if Nautilus does get catching on these guys. I mean, their range to engage is a lot shorter. However, Pantheon darting in or ulting in with the Orianna follow-up can be strong. Let's see if I can find out what the hell they
the
played.
Anivia. Does he? Yeah. Oh, so it is Alicia. Okay. All right. I like that a lot. They baited in the Lucian pick as the Lucian mid because Xavier has been known to play it, and then they take the Anivia and throw Lucian bot.
Oh, boy.
I really like that play out of Sensei Randos. I'm curious how Kev has allergies Lucian is, but yeah, and then big pickup on the Aatrox.
it does to me. I am a little bit worried about the Lucian in a short range matchup against a Karma and a Sivir. You can get poked out pretty heavily, and Nautilus doesn't do a ton to deter that.
He's got
So
his.
it's
I
going to
think
be a little bit
Nautilus
rough.
is jungle.
Nautilus is jungle
Xerath is
for
going to be with
sure.
him
Oh
there.
yes, of course I am.
Yeah. So it's Xerath, Lucian. So they do get Xerath does give them some poke and some range in that bot lane.
Yeah.
Lucian doesn't get like a ton of early kill pressure with a Xerath, but it is a Lucian and Xerath in the bot lane. But I really like the bait and switch out of Sensei Randall's with that Lucian and Nivea pickup. Malphite, I think, is a pretty great response to Xerath. But I will say, out of anyone to have Yo Daddy's Daddy in the LBLCS Economy League, or anyone to have Aatrox in the LBLCS, Yo Daddy's Daddy is one of the biggest ones to fear. Man's a monster on that pick.
Yeah, I actually want to talk about him for a little bit because he is, and unless someone in CEO can prove me wrong, or there could be someone that actually topped it in financial as well this season, but unless someone of those two of these can prove me wrong, he holds the most pentakills in the LBLCS.
Wow.
Yeah, and one of
Big
them,
man.
if not two of them, if my memory serves correctly, was on Aatrox. He also got one on Silas while stealing a Pike ultimate. So
Was this Aatrox Penta back when he was like pick bad and had even more heal? Like you could just do anything basically. Like
it was
the champion
before
was
they
just...
nerfed. It was like after the first nerf of heal cutting, but it wasn't like it wasn't strong enough yet. The heal cutting wasn't strong enough. His ability to heal was just bonkers.
All right. Well, as we sit through this, very boring second draft, I think I am going to go grab myself a coriander beer, and I encourage anyone watching to do the same because it takes two to tango.
Yeah,
It
it
does.
takes two to tango. Splash into the beast.
Splash into the dude. That sounds like a high C commercial every time you say it. You know? Or like
I'm pretty sure it's from It's Always Sunny, but I don't remember what episode it's from.
like a Capri Sun commercial or something. I don't know.
Yeah, except then the word beast comes out, and you're like, hold up, wait
what's
why is it a beast?
Yeah, sponsored by the LBLCS, sponsored by football.
Yeah, the LBLCS is sponsored by the NFL. The
No, just
official football league of the LBLCS.
I really like the idea of the LBLCS just being sponsored by football, not like a football league or anything specific, just
That would be
the
good.
sport itself. Because there are multiple football leagues nowadays.
True.
I guess I don't know if there still are.
You're gonna confuse a lot of Europeans, though. I think we'd have to be very clear about what we're doing.
I'd
guess
like
we're the
being as
LCS.
unclear
We're
as
the
unclear as
LEC.
possible.
We're not the LEC. We're the LCS. People should fucking know.
They should know. They should know.
Put 2 and 2 together, jerk.
Yeah, I love the ASOL hover for no reason. Damn, I wish ASOL was a champion that existed in the game. I think the champion is so cool. Kind of weird to play against or as, but just a really cool design.
I will
unfortunately,
say, if someone played him, the phrase "cosmic implosion" would have just so much more meaning in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
True.
funny enough, there is a player who I've seen pop off on ASOL Jungle in the LBLCS, and that player is actually Buggleberry Finn. It's
up?
very likely a normal game, but like, yeah, it was like a couple seasons ago. He's like, oh, I'm locking in the ASOL Jungle. I was like, oh, that's troll. And then he like actually just carried on it, and just like smurfed at everyone. I was like, what is going on right now? What is this man
Dude,
made
it's one of
of?
those champions where if you just understand the very basic mechanics, people who never seen it before, because no one plays the dog shit champ.
Yeah.
You just fucking don't know how to play against it. It's
Well,
really pretty easy to play.
How
against,
like
though.
you were able to like effectively clear and then just like chain gang people, and it was I don't know how your clear was
It's
decent.
like having a nocturne
It's-
ult with your E. I mean, I know you don't go blind everybody, but you just get in there so quick.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of why he's like needs to be reworked. I think a little bit. It's just that ability is too
He
strong.
just feels so terrible to play with his stars and his W. It makes me want to cry.
I'm gonna be honest. I think he needs a bite move like Cho'Gath has to make him more fun.
I think he needs a 3-hit passive, if I'm being honest. I think that,
But for his passive that circles around him.
yeah, I think every star that hits should add a stack, and for each stack, you do 1% true damage for the rest of the game. So when you hit 100 stars, like you kill everyone.
Orianna and
I like
Malphite,
The
being
indelible
little
class
fart heads
of
switching back and forth like little robo monkeys.
No, they're trying to mess them up with their runes, their masteries, or whatever.
What about a champion who like all their abilities are just dog shit, but their passive is if the game lasts until 35 minutes, you automatically win.
What do you mean? If there's a champion, have you not seen Kale? Like, wait, what?
Bah, bah!
Was that you singing again?
Yeah, that's my singing voice. When are we gonna do a LBLCS karaoke night?
We already have
Low budget LCS.
Welcome.
Regular LCS is already low budget. Yeah, except they have money. Okay, we don't.
Welcome to the LBLCS Seduction Lounge. My name is Nacho.
Wait, what?
LBLCS.
Doesn't that mean we're on the casting couch? I gotta get out of here. I don't want to be on the casting couch.
It's a spicy place to be. But yeah, but running back to
Indeed,
draft,
tis.
how do we like the karma going? We didn't really talk a ton about the end of this draft, which was like Pantheon going jungle, Malphite ending up
Sure.
going top, karma support. Like, how do you feel about
I
the
think
way they
Silver
rounded that
Drillers
out?
rounded out
Yeah,
their
Silver
comp
Drillers.
super
Yeah.
well because
Yeah.
my big issue with them with the bottom 4 were picked first. So that Pantheon, Orianna, Sivir, Karma didn't have the easiest way to get on top of somebody like Lucian and Nivea or Xerath in that back area. Obviously, Nautilus and Aatrox can kind of frontline that a little bit. If you stun Nautilus, cool. If you use your abilities on Nautilus, great. You just got baited. So having a Malphite be able to engage into that back line very quickly with the Orianna ultimate follow-up, you can have that little bit of wombo ultimate into the Shockwave. I'd like to see that come to effect. Obviously, they have to pull it off. They have the tools now. I think they drafted themselves the tools, but they need to use them correctly because if they don't do that, I think the ball is all in the court of Sensei Randal's.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I love the ball delivery on the Malphite, and that's able to disrupt big backlines like Xerath specifically. Just able to take him down and hopefully negate a lot of that poke. Nivea does have a fair bit of zone control, and I actually think it's a really smart pick to pull in from the side of Sensei Randall's, just because like Nivea is able to manipulate terrain and close off areas where
Mhm.
you might start an engage or like look for something with a Sivir ulti, a Pantheon engage, a Malphite engage, and Anivia kind of is able to slow that down or throw up a wall and say no, your team can't follow.
Yeah,
So
mitigate
I
that
think
pressure for sure.
yeah, I think if Xavier plays really well in these team fights, Anivia can shut down a lot of what Silver Drillers want to do. But I think in general, I really do like Silver Drillers comps. I think that Sivir ulti allows them to go really ham when they want to. Like
Yep.
Karma synergizes super well, and then Orianna, Pantheon, and Malphite all synergize really well with each other.
I
So
think
it's like
I think it's a
as far
lot
as the
about,
direction.
are they smart enough to pull the trigger as soon as they can, and do they execute it the right way? Because if people flash the Malphite all, if people can outplay that at all, and they lose the
Yeah.
ability to engage correctly, I mean, Xerath and Anivia sitting in the back line just dropping all that damage on you guys is going to be really hard to deal with. I do like Silver Driller's comp probably more. Oh, we didn't do bets. Oh shit, everyone's angry at me.
Oh,
Don't DM
no.
me. Don't DM me. I am too proud to read those DMs because I know what they're about. And Sup says LCS. Okay, he thinks the observers are better here. We're the observers. We're just gonna follow our screens, so it's not really crazy cool. Just so you know.
I just want to add on to the point about the Anivia. I feel like you're absolutely right with the Sivir ult, where you've got sort of the 5-man unit running around trying to jump on people. The ability to just throw down the ultimate and basically be like, okay, like you can walk through this if you want, but like you're gonna take a lot of damage on the way through.
Yeah. Yeah. She's able to shut down that side of the comp pretty well. I think as far as execution, it's a little bit like easier to execute Silver, like even with
I think
waves
Silver Driller's way easier. I think that they
it's
drafted the
much easier to
comfort, and I
execute
think
that
that's gonna have a big advantage.
Yeah.
Although Yo
'Cause,
Daddy's
like-
daddy, I don't know if he flipped his coin already, but that's gonna decide the game in its own way.
Yeah. Also, skin game. The Shamrock Malphite, very lucky
OG.
skin on the side.
Yeah.
Of Silver Drillers.
Something you won't often hear the LCS analysts talk about is Shamrock skins, and that's a real shame because it is one of the most important parts of the game. You think about, would you rather have like, is there anything lucky about being in cosmic flight? Like, no, you're still a fucking bird. It doesn't matter. But Shamrock Malphite has the luck of the Irish on his side, and I think that weighs gives him a distinct advantage.
That Astronautilus synced up with Cosmic Flight Nivea, like that's some skin synergy right there.
Yeah, but like you're not in space, you're on Summoner's Rift, so like what does an astronaut really do for you, right? Like, yeah, okay, he could head out into like, the cold, icy, black vacuum of space, right? But like we're not. We're in the river, we're in the jungle. We're killing crows.
We want Shamrock.
So like, yeah, he's prepared for this like potential
Wait, I'm sorry.
thing, but it's never going to come to pass. Meanwhile, Shamrock Malphite, the dude just delivers.
Yeah. What did I come back to listen to? What is happening in the cast right now?
It's about luck, and the river, and the Shamrocks, and the
and Astronautilus,
and Astronautilus and Darkstar Karma got to have their own battle off screen because I don't even know what's going to happen, but something is.
The Shamrocks are in the rivers, and the snakes. Kevin,
and the cat's in the cradle, like and the silver spoon.
There's that meme of Charlie Day and Always Sunny, like at the wall, and like he's like coming up with like this whole conspiracy. I think that's us and these skins right now, and about what matters in this game.
I guess.
Maybe.
Is it?
Coming up with it.
Is it?
Connecting.
Do you guys know shit I don't know? Is that what's happening right now?
Yes, that's true. Most people who know you know more than you do, but.
That was brutal.
That hit right at home.
I'm just I see the Malphite and the Orianna, and I think about 2 seasons ago when Immortals finally dumped their terrible French players, Soaz and Ica, and then they won a couple games off Malphite and Orianna, and it was like, oh man, Immortals, maybe. They've figured out the secret. Maybe this is it. And then the moment someone was like, yeah, we're just going to ban the Malphite, they're like, we suck again. So Malphite, Orianna.
That happens to CLG this season, too.
Gallia,
past season.
Right?
Yeah, with the Vi, right?
Yeah, the Vi, Bronzodia comps, like just like press R comps, like comps that are really good in LBLCS, and you should 100% draft them. because if they work in pro play, because of
Yeah.
how easy they are to execute, they probably work in, bronze through whatever, bronze through challenger, just the 5 settings. But they get figured out and people abuse
They
them
get
after
fat
like
figured
they
out. Did
see
I hear
them.
that right?
They get fact figured out.
Fact
Yeah,
figured out.
and-
They
I
get
heard
figured
fat,
out
like it was a
very
weight.
quickly in pro play, and people then just abuse you for playing them. But it happens less on the
Boo.
Yeah, and before you know it, you're 100 Thieves playing Lee Sin bot, and you wonder where it all went wrong.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know the drill. Classic LBLCS.
All right, it's not the LBLCS
pause.
without an immediate pause. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to YouTube. Hang on.
A pause for quality
Anyone
assurance.
got a YouTube video you want to watch before?
Okay, at least in the LBLCS we pause because like someone's internet went out. In the LCS, it's like someone pauses because like they don't have enough hot like heating packets for their fucking pinky finger.
No, so I
Yeah,
actually have a very
yeah.
good comparison to when
sun is in
people
their
pause
eyes.
in
Yeah,
the
the-
LCS. And it's like,
Close
Yep.
them.
you ever watch like international soccer when they fake an injury just to get water?
Yeah.
That's what I imagine the real pauses in the LCS are like. It's like, dude, like, I don't know, my mouse isn't clicking right or something. Do you guys bring
Yeah.
over more stuff for me?
I think it would be really funny if you had someone pause because it's like pause like mouse issue, and like a dude with like a towel and a spray bottle came over and just started like checking him out. I was like, "Are you okay?" They've got like the spine board out. Like, do you need to lie down?
Oh, could you imagine someone getting stretchered off in an LCS game?
That would be an experience.
Would
Yeah, it's all
people-
fun and games until 140 volts come through your fucking Alienware desktop and electrocute you in front of a
Yeah,
crowd
that would
of,
be
like,
very sad. But what if
1,000
it was
people.
just something real dumb?
Can you imagine what they would the casters like? Imagine fucking Freak commentating your death on air.
Jesus,
Like,
no,
imagine-
stop. I
Imagine
could
how
not
funny
imagine
that would be. Can you fucking
Dude, this
imagine?
got really into the realm of dark humor so quickly.
Well,
I
I'm just
love it.
saying. Imagine like you're dead, right? Like obviously
Not
Imagine-
Jerome, more like not alive. Like that.
not alive.
brutal?
Yeah, that's exactly what it would be like, right?
I think so. I think it probably would be
as
that
they
bad.
cast
Ugh.
your dying words.
Hey guys, once this is paused for 3 minutes, I know everyone can see what other people already bought, so no cheating.
And this isn't even like a shot at like I'm a big Freak fan. I think he adds a lot to the LCS. I'm just
thought you
saying
said you
if
just
I
liked
had
him
to
Freak.
if I had to pick a caster to commentate me being electrocuted to death on stream, I think he would be the one.
Okay.
Is that a? I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
It is
I
a
don't-
compliment.
I can't tell.
I can tell you,
I
it
almost
is a
wouldn't want you
compliment.
to even
No, I don't know
tell me.
how he's gonna take it. It doesn't care what you think it is.
Well,
I don't
he's
know.
not listening. He's not listening.
Bullshit, freak, come on out.
Freak, yeah, come on. He's sitting in the fucking channel right now. Freak,
He-
undeafen.
He's in the seduction lounge on the
He's in the seduction lounge. He's very.
there.
You can actually see in the green room right now at the LBLCS headquarters is Freak very slowly eating a fudgesicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Let's get a
hit the
zoom in on
point
that.
of the
You know-
meltiness where it's sort of dripping off the stick, but you're not quite ready to give up yet.
Do you ever
I
reach
don't want that image.
next to you and take your on-hand coriander second edition ready to go because you are smart enough to bring over 2? And just
I feel like if I bring
I-
2, I'm more likely to drink the first one first. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
no shit. Wait, how would you
Well,
not drink the
that
first
is-
one first? How would you not do that? Right? Do you mean not finished? I don't even know what you mean by that. How can you not drink the first one first? Wait,
no,
this
I
is
just
hurting.
mean like.
Well, you can
You
You
start
know,
the third
I'm
one.
more likely to be in a hurry, you know, and be like, "Wow, I have 2 beers here. I guess I better
Okay,
get
so
to
you-
work on this first one."
Oh, you like, yeah.
Yeah. Like the pressure's on, right?
Drink the first one
A little
first,
bit
as in like
pressure is-
finish it
is good.
first as early as you can.
a little bit
Okay,
of pressure, I'd say.
that's different. I was thinking like I can't even explain it. I hope someone in the audience got it because usually no one understands my point of view. Guys in the audience, audience men, what are they referred to as?
Folks.
I don't know. Okay, folks.
Folks,
Anybody getting that? You guys picking up what I'm putting down here, or am I just shooting shit in the dark? What's going on?
yeah, my fridge is far away from my casting spot, so
From the
it's-
seduction lounge.
From the seduction lounge, it's a long walk to the fridge from the seduction.
Yeah,
lounge.
because the
So
fridge is all the way over by the
I
hot
brought,
tub, and
I brought 2. The fridge, yeah, it actually sometimes it ends up in the hot tub. It gets crazy here. At the
it gets
LBLCS
pretty crazy here at
headquarters.
headquarters. You know, you're sitting in the rainfall shower under the
Yeah.
LED lights.
It's lit. The rainfall shower also
Yeah.
is just—it's a shower that just rains jelly beans. Not even real.
Yeah,
water.
not even. It's a terrible place to clean yourself.
It's terrible. It's
You wouldn't.
riddled with
No.
ants.
Yeah,
You
you're
wouldn't
just
clean
you're
yourself.
fucked.
You're not
Just
getting any more
ants.
clean.
It's
But
just
you're-
raining jelly beans.
You know,
with
I was
ants everywhere.
earlier today. I was enjoying some brandy and a cigar in the LBLCS sauna lounge. You know, sitting basically just in a towel, thinking about how much fun this series is going to be, and I didn't expect to be 42 minutes past our anticipated start time, speculating on.
So
which...
I actually appreciate this. This is a very smart tactic. Make them go to bed first.
Yeah.
We also have someone redeeming some points here. So Popoba, hit me baby one more time. I won't because I like you so much. I don't want to strike you down. And also, you have done so much for us, casting and streaming, and the dog pics you send me at 2 a.m. every day. Big ups, big ups, big pups. I'm gonna say big pups on those because they're
Big
so
pups.
good. Yeah.
Do you think we should get a dog for LBLCS HQ?
We should get,
Yeah,
like,
except
at
we don't
least
have a
enough
real
to go
location,
sled
so
dogging
we'd just be
with
buying a dog in the middle of nowhere.
bobsledding. Is that what it's called? Bobsledding?
What called
With a bunch of
bobsledding?
dogs. What are they called?
Dog sledding?
Dog sledding? What's
Yeah.
What
bobsledding?
did you call it?
That's the one where you have 2 or 4 people going down the ice track.
No, that's
Oh,
when
yeah.
you tie up a bunch of bobs like reindeer and you say, "Gun it, boys." It's a fucked up thing to do.
Boys, take me to Cincinnati.
Well, they
Jesus, where
did
are you
let
from?
Xavier get the bird. Xavier is known for his bird because he's known for how much he gets banned, not for how much anything he's done on it. Because it
So,
almost always. Gets
I
banned.
actually want to stop you, and I like the phrase Xavier is known for his bird because there's a little bit of a connotation that it could mean something else, and I just want him to be known for that. That it might be
Just
the
don't
other thing, but you're not
explain.
sure because you know you're talking about Lee.
Denny's dogs. Yeah, we actually
Denny's
ride to work here in the north. We actually go to our local Denny's for council meetings in sleds of various types. Whether or not we know what those kinds of sledding mechanisms are is beyond me, but they're just various sleds. With or without
We do
dogs.
kind of flame the players when they cast, but we also put them up a lot. We know, like, we've been playing with these guys, especially these two teams. These are kind of veteran teams. They've been here at least 4 seasons. Some of the players have been here from, I want to say, season 1. Season 2.
I actually flame Xavier on the regular, but I don't flame all players. On the regular, it really depends here and there. But
Yes!
we
He
try to lift
reconnected!
people up when they deserve it.
Okay,
you know.
listen to me very carefully. Any money donated tonight goes to St. Valentine getting a new computer. That is my word.
Yes.
I will screenshot how much money was given to us, and I will make sure that motherfucker gets it because this has
so
been brutal.
Both these teams are veteran LBLCS teams. They've been around here for many a season. St. Valentine's actually really known for coming up with awesome end of the season write-ups as well as being a player. He does a really good job, like taking notes and writing up these awesome, like kind of like superlatives, like MVP sort of write-ups on different teams, different stats, different players. Really fine lad and part of the LBLCS. So
He's physically weaker than me in real life, though. May I
Yeah,
point
let
that
it be
out?
known.
Let it be
physically
known.
weaker than Buggleberry.
Hey,
But
Bubble, what do you think he's going to write about our team that just
he
sort of
can write.
disappeared?
Huh?
What do you think he's going to write about the intermediate, the Cyan helicopters, where we just sort of, we
I
sort
would
of
say
fell off
they
the
phoned
earth?
it in around week 4.
He only writes about teams that exist.
Yeah, we don't really
I
exist
think is how
anymore.
it goes.
We had so many scheduling conflicts that I think I typed to Vexrax, who's the captain of Fried Chicken, just fuck it, dude. You guys win. I think that's what I typed to him because I was like, this is over. We're not going to be able to schedule anything.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. Oh, how the Titans fall.
I will say, on the name, though, 19 Steps, although he's been subbed out today because he has a prior engagement, is the current TFT champion of the LBLCS. So
Prior engagement makes it sound like he's been called into active duty or something. Like he's
No,
been
he
called
just-
up on assignment.
he actually messed up. He was supposed to get engaged tonight, but he had a prior one. It's been fucking up a lot of stuff.
The president needs you. Okay, but You won't be able to make your LBLCS match.
Did you guys
That's
freeze
okay.
at 31 seconds?
Yeah, I froze at 30
we're good,
seconds.
okay.
I'm at 33,
Okay, we're here.
34.
Yeah, we're on similar.
All right,
beats. By the
cool.
way, I don't think we talked about it, but I'm gonna do the play-by-play, and you guys just like make sounds, right?
That's generally what I do. Is just make gibberish.
What sounds would you like?
Jesus, I don't fucking know.
Not Jerome is really good at making sounds. I've heard him try to sing, which essentially is just making a bunch of sounds.
It's just loud noises, yeah.
It's just
It's just a lot of grunting.
Yeah.
It's kind of thrilling though.
It is. One day I'll host, like, when there are no scheduled games, I'll host, like, the LBLCS karaoke, like, late night hour.
Huh?
I thought okay. See, when you
I'll-
started leading up to that, I thought you were gonna say the LBLCS grunting challenge.
No, I'm
'Cause
just
I'm
gonna
down to
talk
have
like
one.
this, like I'm a late night radio DJ. I'm gonna have people on and they're gonna sing.
Welcome to the LBLCS, where we whisper really close to our microphone, just like
Welcome
in
back to the poem of the hour here on NPR.
You're seeing both teams start bot side. So maybe some spicy top lane / mid lane action here. As
Count
they
every
rotate
time
up.
Dutch Krampus is wrong. This cast. Not Jerome. That's your job.
Yeah, you want me to just like okay, yeah.
Yeah, you
Do
try.
you want me to just like interrupt him when he's wrong?
Yeah. Be awesome.
It's his
wrong.
it's his
I'm
second
wrong.
killer. It's his third.
Yeah.
How much damage did Saint Valentine just take? I'd like you to tell me.
Oh dear.
Oh, it's too late. He's already healed up. You're already wrong.
Neglect to answer that question. Good decline.
Just like your debit card, right?
Holy shit! Why are we
Wow.
roasting him? This is brutal.
Wow, the back-to-back.
Level 2 first down here in the bot lane, but no one's really fighting about. Oh, look at your daddy's daddy going absolutely ham-balamski up on Malphite. Nice spell shield from Glutton.
Ham Balamski.
I figured it was a phrase people say.
I think you made an error.
Alright, I'm at 1 rare, so is Dutch Krampus. Fine.
Yeah, 2 errors total. Only 2 in this cast.
Yeah, a lot of. Oh my god, look how much damage.
Oh
He's
my
actually gonna pull him
goodness,
back in.
this
He should
is-
get that full
He's
knock.
massive.
This is vicious. This shouldn't be legal. How are we allowed to put this on Twitch?
I don't even know if we are.
I enjoy how much this is freezing on me. Find it amusing, at least.
It
I
is.
find it amusing.
Oh,
Yeah,
he didn't even
Yogi's
get the
daddy
cannon.
starting off really well. He might be pushing up a little bit too far, but I don't think Malphite actually has enough HP to get a good solid gank for Pantheon. We will see as his AP regen.
He's got no
David's in the
mana.
best
He can't
spot.
Yeah,
affect
he
the
doesn't
fight.
do it.
He has no mana.
Oh, the flash missed!
Oh,
First
Doesn't
blood,
matter.
I
though?
think Pantheon can clean up though.
He should
Yeah.
be able to, yeah. I'm gonna tell you though, Yo Daddy's daddy doesn't care.
Yeah,
No.
no,
that
man
was
doesn't
that was
care.
the game for Yo Daddy's daddy entire morale. If he got that kill or not.
Yep.
I'm telling
That
you
was
right
Coin
now.
flipped heads.
Yeah. Coin flip.
Oh, this
oh my
seems. Uh-oh.
god. Oh, he's got
No,
him
he's-
coming in.
He
Yeah.
does have Nautilus here.
Oh,
The hook does hit too. They're gonna pick up one. They might be able to pick up this next one. He does have flash. It looks like he's gonna be able to get away. Is there now in the bot lane doing a little bit of a skirmish. I think Malphite is safe. He hasn't burned that flash. But red buff on Yo Daddy's daddy is gonna matter.
Yeah. I think that's the advantage he needs. He's just going to continue fighting this entire game, so he needs to be ahead while he's doing that.
Yeah.
Nautilus, like jungle though, is actually kind of great if you're going to play through an Aatrox topside.
The flash is a lot of damage.
Oh.
So much coming back and
Oh.
forth. The Q does not land in the end, and that empowered W auto attack from Malphite is what ends up finishing him off. Pretty crazy play right there.
Yeah. We are almost at a kill per minute so far this
God.
game, so
Thank God.
keeping it spicy for us there in the top lane.
That's the only way to be a certified banger.
It's true.
actually, we're kind of more at like 0.8 kills per minute, so.
I
asshole.
said close to
All
1.
right, but I'm a couple seconds behind you then, because it's not 5 yet for me. Now it is.
Just hit 5. Yeah, no, I like the spice. I mean, we'll see if there's anything able to, like, the thing about the bot lane here is it's pretty much just like poke v poke from the side of the supports. And then Lucian doesn't actually have enough range to really get onto anybody. But but neither does Sivir. So I just think they're just gonna farm.
The thing about
Yeah,
their
Lucian sort of feels like the one problem spot in this draft. Like I don't really see what he
gank.
does.
They're looking
much.
for something. St. Valentine might be getting caught out. The flash forward, he's actually holding that. They're going to look onto Karma right now, doing a lot of damage, but she is actually going to dodge both spells from Radhouse as he pops off the wrong things. And Pantheon accidentally dropping that E a little bit early, but they're getting a lot of damage onto Waffles. Now the exhaust comes out onto Frankie. Can they do anything? Oh my god.
Oh.
The hook on in might be enough because the flash away might keep him safe. There goes Lucian going all the way in. He should be able to pick up St. Valentine too. A really nice exhaust can keep him safe. They're turning on to Gluttony now, but the teleport is coming in, and it might be enough. Can one more auto do it? Keva's Allergy is now in a bad position. The shockwave is available, but the mana is not there.
Mana.
She does not have the mana to do it. She dropped that Q a little bit early, and St. Valentine and Gluttony are playing on a razor-thin line here. One of them chugging a pop, but they are so low. I think Xerath could just finish them off, and he does. What a shot.
Wow. I'm surprised it took so long for that to turn into 2 deaths versus just a lot of deaths. That fight was like really razor edge. Red House did end up getting that last little kill, but it was almost just a 1 death through that entire exchange, which is pretty nuts. I think the Nautilus is really like again showing up as a huge pick in this draft. What you were saying as far as Lucian being not doing much of the draft, I entirely agree. In terms of their comp, but what I will say is I think it does a lot in terms of getting Xavier onto a super big comfort pick, and I think the Anivia will end up showing up. It hasn't gone into anything crazy, but again, Anivia versus Orianna isn't really going to be a crazy matchup. It's a pretty passive lane.
Something super interesting is that Anivia actually took she took the Electrocute in the Domination tree, but then she went into the Inspiration and she took Futures Market. Which allowed her to make that back even earlier to get that Lost Chapter, which is something that is super important because she got Lost Chapter and Boots. She went 150, if not 200, underneath. There, we had took a little glimpse at the gold spread, and we did see that. So I think that's very interesting to get the best back you can, especially on a comfort champ, because once you get rolling on Anivia, you're going to start becoming a real nuisance to the other team.
Yeah, and I think Anivia's going to play a huge part in like control of the river and control of these big objectives. So getting an early some items early and possibly being able to help Nautilus make plays in the river with Aatrox topside actually will be a huge impact. I'm still curious to see if we'll see more action bot side. I didn't think it was going to be much going on there. I was surprised at the amount of action we got going on, but again, the action is entirely dictated by those junglers right now.
Yeah, and Anivia is at her best when she's getting, when people are coming to her, bringing the fight to her, like into this comp with the Pantheon, the Malphite, the Sivir, who are all trying to get on top of you. Anivia is a really good pick. So you sit back, you throw down your R, you throw out some Qs and some shield.
Yeah, and they're just taking trades
sort of
right now. That's a great pickup. They've got the Drake and the gold lead.
I think it is going to pay off pretty well for all the reasons you said, and like that's really what the Illusion did in the draft was just, you know, they might have a little bit of a weird bot side and not have the most cohesive thing going on with Illusion, but it just gives them the Nivea, which is so good into the cages, and that we are seeing.
Oh, nice
into
try.
the tower, but the shockwave doesn't connect when it does drop. That was a very close to calamitous moment for the side of Sensei Randal's intermediate
close
Squids.
to calamitous.
That could be something. Oh, I saw someone with a shirt. Listen to this. I saw someone with a shirt yesterday that just said nautical term. I wanted to let you know that I saw that because it made me think of you, Nacho.
It just said nautical term?
Yep. Because you're a real piece of shit, so I was like, like that's something Nacho would say to a guy that is like in the Navy.
Yeah. I don't speak to people in the Navy. I have no respect for the service. But anyways.
That is the most aggressive stance.
Wow. Hot take.
It's not a hot take. It's just an opinion.
Now he's downplaying it.
I'm not downplaying. I'm happy to own it. Perfectly clear. I'm not saying anyone else should feel this way. It's just I don't like boats.
100 million channel points. That Kev goes 10-0.
Like, I mean, every year I get invited onto the LBLCS, you know, private yacht, and every year I say no, and people are like, "Why is it?"
Because we don't have a
Not
private
Jerome.
yacht. Ask
Why is it not Jerome? Why don't you want to come on the boat? And
Oh,
everyone
that's the
expects
yacht
like this.
party?
No, no,
I
no.
misread.
And everyone
I thought it was a
expects this
yacht
super
party.
complicated answer, right? Like, oh, you know, I already have plans. You know, I'm doing this or that or the other thing. No, the answer is I don't like boats. All right, and if you like boats, I don't like you. So really, it's
See, I keep
sort of the
getting
way it
invited
is.
to that and thought it was just them tying knots.
Not
I thought it
hurting.
was just like a.
Oh, a lot of
Birdie.
damage on the
Bunch of
ultimate is
rope.
coming out. Gluttony does a good job to dodge all around, but the shields are going to go down, and this Q might connect. He's actually going to choose to hit onto St. Valentine.
Gluttony's too low here.
Oh, that W might be enough. The ultimate's coming out, but the nice heal. Kevin's Allergy is now a little bit too deep, takes 2 tower shots, but is not in any type of kill threat right now. The Q does miss onto Gluttony, but anything that hits
Why?
it could kill.
Why, Gluttony? Why do
He's-
you make my heart tear at my
He's
heartstrings
dancing
like
with
this?
death.
Dancing with death. Oh my gosh. Edge of my seat there. This bot lane plays on a razor thin edge. It's crazy.
Yeah, Pantheon
Whew.
getting some warding in that lower side of the river. Probably setting up a little bit preemptively for that next dragon in case these guys do come in. Has that mid-river ward.
Yeah, we will see what happens here at this first Drake.
ZP says boats got implications. You're right, ZP. Boats do have implications. That's why not Jerome's so afraid of them.
Yeah, I think they're looking for that rift.
now why would you hook the Herald Waffles? This is bad gameplay. Makes me sick
See,
to my
we
stomach.
do play.
Waffles,
We'll
worst
see if there's a
player.
fight that breaks out here though.
There's gonna be a fight down bot lane. They're trying to pressure in on him. A really nice stun does hit onto Gluttony. He actually gets the slow as well. He might be able to get all the way back to Keva's allergies. He's in his own safe vision now.
I
he should
don't
be
know if
safe.
Silver Drillers is really able to do much there on the top side either. Negated, and it looks like Pantheon's just gonna go back to jungle, farm blue, and then we'll see something happen bot side. Do you expect a tower dive this game at all?
If they're gonna use that Pantheon all, or if Orianna makes a
Didn't,
successful roam, I do.
Didn't we have a tower dive like level 2 top?
Yo Daddy's Dad doesn't
I mean,
count.
yeah,
that's
that's
just
true.
how he plays. That's
Oh,
not a tower
okay.
dive. That's just
That's just
standard
your daddy's
gameplay.
daddy.
Understood.
It's like-
Understood.
I meant more like bot side. Yoda's daddy, I kind of just expect it to happen.
Naturally, yeah.
Yeah.
It's something's wrong if it's not
Oh,
happening.
the
flash
flash. I
hook
don't think
does
he has
land.
the damage.
He's got a decent
does
amount of
he?
damage with that ultimate though. If he get one more auto attack, maybe he burns the unstoppable force from Malphite. So no ultimate around when this next dragon is going to spawn. Super big thing to get rid of, and they're going to drop the Herald top.
Yeah, Waffles just says, I know what to do. I need to play topside, drop a rift, get a gank off. The tower's gonna go on first. Unleash Yo Daddy's daddy either onto the map or make him a menace to deal with on that top lane. As we see that first tower go down.
Yeah.
Which is a really early first tower to take, and it gets another hit onto tier 2.
Oh, that's so big, especially for the side of Yo Daddy's daddy being up there.
That's
Really good
huge.
split pusher.
Huge for Yo Daddy's daddy, who's now also at 108 to 77 CS. And has has a tower to his name. Got a bunch of plates for it, got all of the plates for it as well.
Yeah.
So he's sitting on some pretty hefty gold as he completes his first mythic. It's that gourd drinker.
Yeah, Pantheon able to steal away that red buff, but now this Drake is up. Teleport
Yeah,
available
TP.
for Aatrox. He's going to come on in. Malphite has his, but he has no ultimate if he decides to go on in. Yo Daddy's daddy looking for some kills here. Is going to burn a lot of summoners. Oh, Monkey's in a little bit of trouble, but he's able to escape. He burned his flash, though. This should be their Drake. They're able to zone these guys off pretty far now. Okay. A lot of damage coming out. Xavier might be in some trouble. These guys are now all grouped up. Can they pull the trigger if they need to? Malphite's still about 20 seconds away from having his ultimate available. And the poke fight and dodgeball.
I think they need to start that fight before Malphite gets his ult, because otherwise
Yeah, they're
it's
sitting on a
not gonna
timer.
be
They
a
don't know
win.
that. I mean, they're waiting for it, right? They're baiting time. They're waiting for that to be up because Shockwave's available for Orianna right now. The second it's up, he's going in. And it better be on Waffles if you're on Sensei Randals, because otherwise Everyone's getting blown up on the backside. Here comes Aatrox going into the everyone right there. A little bit of CC coming out, and the ultimate's going to get dropped. There's the huge shockwave's going to lock up 2 people as Randal's in the back line. Kevin Alga's also trying to do the damage that he needs to do, but he's not being fully successful. A really nice use of the ultimate from Anivia, though, is very big, and Gluttony is going to go down on the backside. That's a 3 for 0 so far. Yo, Daddy's Daddy is a menace in the back line. Kevin Alga's looking for St. Valentine. Is he going to be able to find him? The Q should be available to actually pick him up on the backside, and it does. It's a 4 for 1 here around the Dragon Pit.
Yo Daddy's Daddy won that fight single-handedly. He had 3 people distracted on the backside. So many low health bars on the blue side, but no one actually dropped except for Kev has allergies. And that's pretty much all thanks to Yo Daddy's Daddy. He drew so much focus and then was able to turn once the fight was in their favor. Really nicely done.
Yeah, I also will say, though, Rat House laid out a ton of damage and was able to survive very well in that fight, playing that backline and finishing off some really low target health bars. Yo Daddy's Daddy taking so much of that focus away, allowing kind of these carries to flourish. There were points of that fight that I was a little bit scared with the Malphite Shockwave combo, but ultimately we did see that fight play out pretty well for the side of Sensei Randal. So
the other thing we have to mention is Anivia hadn't died yet, so that was one of the targets they did go on. Now, her passive still did not get popped, right?
No.
But if they had used 2 ultimates to pop that passive, now you have something to protect, especially with someone as big as Yo Daddy's Daddy. I think that fight would be very different. You have to get on that Xerath in that backline. His positioning was very good, like you were talking about.
Yeah. Oh, Pantheon looking to make plays here.
I don't think you do much here against Aatrox. No, you absolutely
might be able to
don't.
play both. Look how much damage he does to Frankie. Who is going to use, look at the patience from Yo Daddy's Daddy to even use an auto attack. He should have that next Q to be able to hit him. He does. That's 274 gold to him as he is now turning his fight onto this Malphite.
Malphite ult is up soon. It's not going to matter, though.
If he dives, it's going to matter. I'll tell you that. Shockwave is also available. They're going to look for the double KO onto him right now, but Waffles has shown up, and that's 500 gold on to Malphite right here. Xavier is now in the fight, though, and they're able to do a lot of damage right now onto him. They pull him back into the ultimate and finish him off 10-4. Goes the score and a 4K gold lead for the side of Sensei Randals.
Really well played there out of Waffles, waiting to walk up through the wave before trying to launch that Q. A little weird of an ultimate, I will say, but ultimately I think that was really well played, getting that kill. Onto Xavier. Waffles definitely is playing this Nautilus extremely well, trying to just, make his teammates get fed, get Yo Daddy's Daddy ahead, get that, mid laner ahead as well. And I really like to see it. I see out of him.
A nice stun right now onto Rat House. He does have to flash away, but he hasn't been taken down quite yet. He's going to try to get underneath the turret, but he's in a lot of trouble. He does get picked up by Frankie in the end of it, and no one is coming down here to help. So a nice shutdown gold there onto Pantheon.
Yeah, I mean, Frankie's definitely looking for plays. I will commend him on that. He's playing the Pantheon aggressively. Obviously, it's tough to go into the Aatrox at this point. Yo Daddy's Daddy is really ahead right now and has just a ton of lifesteal. But I will commend the player for looking for those Pantheon plays, trying to get something going, looking to get leads somewhere, because right now they are 5K behind. They need to build a lead somewhere with some things.
Yeah, nice flash forward on to St. Valentine. Should be able to finish him off. Kezavalogis is right there to do it. Frankie now battling away, trying to use that E to escape, but I think he will go down in the end. The kill goes to Yo Daddy's Daddy. He goes to 6-3, and the score is 12-5.
Yeah, and I think this is going to mean bot side tower does go down. They now have control of the jungle, and Yo Daddy's Daddy has another kill under his belt.
Yeah, we've got Mountain Drake too, and so this is very, very important. One, it benefits both teams greatly. Obviously, if you get 4 on the side of Silver Drillers, you're going to be impossible to freaking get through, especially that Malphite with all the resistances he will have. But on the side of Sensei Randals, if you have that extra shield and their combo that they've been executing super well, huge credit to Silver Drillers, by the way, for the unstoppable force into the Shockwave combination they've pulled off in a few fights here. They've gotten really good success and damage off with it. It hasn't won them a fight per se yet, but it's giving them that fighting chance, and they know what they're doing with it. They drafted it for a reason. But if they have that extra shield on Sensei Randals, it's going to negate so much of that initial burst.
Yeah, it's tough. I think it's really tough to play from behind in this draft, just because they don't really have like a huge win con with late game scaling or anything like that. Like if they do play the draft well and are able to find picks early on in these fights, I think it can go one sided for them for sure. With that shield like you're talking about, but vision control is really important in these fights because of those reasons. And I think Sensei Randall's just has the ability to like maintain and gain vision control much more easily, being far ahead at this point.
Another fight for the next Drake, spawning in about 8 seconds here, as Silver Driller's moving in to get some solid vision. House may be stepping a little bit too forward, but he's going to sweep this area to make sure they can't see where they are. Try to get some poke off as well. Is able to slap some onto St. Valentine and pop the spell shield of Gluttony.
You do find the ward.
More damage off onto them. This is all Malphite's moment. He does have the flash unstoppable force if they want to go for it. Oh, just look at the damage onto St. Valentine.
Well done to Rathouse. Just poking him out. Laying down some early damage is really, I think, important in this draft. For when there is inevitably a giant explosion team fight, Rathouse is giving them a bit of an advantage by getting some of those health bars low.
Yeah, this is the devil's dance that they're doing right now. They know something has to... And this is what I was talking about, too, earlier. Okay, here's the engage that they're going to go for. Gluttony dropping it. The ultimate E from... Oh! Aatrox already on the back line. Gonna knock everybody into the air. They're looking for Robo Monkey. Now they're looking for Pantheon. They pick him up. Uh-oh. Malphite's in a huge amount of trouble, but so is everybody else in that back line. This bombardment from Xerath is picking up some kills, but Malphite is the one that goes down in the front line with Yo Daddy's daddy, who dies in the end of it. Can they pick up the rest of them? A nice hook does secure the kill onto Orianna. St. Valentine now look. Oh, a really nice flash forward from Kev as Allergies. What an aggressive play.
I love the aggressive plays out of Kev. And yeah, Yoda's daddy 1v3ing that fight as the rest of his team just obliterates their front line. But I love the aggro plays by Kev has Allergies, saying, he wants to be in these fights too, getting himself a little bit of a gold lead now, while they take both bot turret and Drake at the same time. This is starting to look really, really one-sided by the side of Sensei Randall's.
Yeah, super clean play from these guys. I mean, Waffles, this is the epitome of his jungling style, right? You look at this, 0-0 and 11 with a little bit more CS than the counter jungler, right? And he's got the 3 Drakes. He's got both Heralds. He's been playing super objective focused, and he's been playing teamfight focused for his team, and it's been paying off.
Yeah, he's a big enabler in the jungle, and he just plays it so well in this Nautilus. I mean, it's kind of absurd. This man plays Nautilus all season and just knows exactly what he needs to do and just sets up his team for success and, doesn't need to be the carry, but yet is kind of the carry because of that. I mean, 0-11 on Nautilus, is clearing perfectly fine and making this unconventional pick look really, really good yet again in playoffs where it really matters.
So I'm not saying the game's over in any manner, but 3 Drakes to 0, almost a 10k gold lead, not quite, about 9.5. If you're on the side of the Silver Drillers, you're still thinking about this game. You're still thinking, how can we have a giant comeback in some type of way? But you're also thinking about, what's the biggest issue that we didn't get rid of? Because something else out here we could still take away. We took away MF, Morgana, and Brand, and we have side choice. So if they want to take that blue side, and maybe they want to first pick that Morgana, they have that ability now. They can get an extra ban in.
Yeah, I kind of think in draft, if you're going to look at this game, it's really tough what you decide to take away. If you have blue side, I think you just have to leave up one of their picks and take it at all costs, because now there's more picks you really want to take away from them. They had to leave up some of their power picks. Nivea got through, Nautilus got through, Aatrox got through, but I mean, you can't just ban everything. You only have 3 bans first round, so I think you really do have to take away either Morgana or Brand or something and start throwing bans elsewhere on the map. Unfortunately, you just can't be throwing all your bans, I think, on support at this point.
They threw 5 bans bot lane, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, it was
2 supports, 3 ADCs.
Yeah, yep, yeah. So ADCs got banned pretty heavily. I think you're gonna have to let some of the AD carries through. And just throw bans elsewhere. The first 3 bans, though, I think are really tricky because I think you have to take one of the support bans and either put it on Aatrox, ban Aatrox, or really ban Nautilus, honestly, is where I'm at too, because I just think that's a huge pick as far as enabling their team. Sure, it's not, it's not like the carry pick, but it's like a really easy setup and
It's
really
simple
got the game
CC,
snowballing.
right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous CC, and it got the game snowballing for the carries. So you either ban, I think you either ban Nautilus or you ban Aatrox, and then you either take Misfortune away, or you take either Bran or Morgana away from the enemy team.
Yeah. Well,
But
we'll see if they can do
See if it
anything
gets
here.
there.
They're going to be dancing in this red side jungle here, trying to scan it out for wards. And actually, Nautilus might be the one getting caught right now. He does see that Malphite is in that bush. Red House also trying to keep his distance. They could look for some type of engage right here, but they don't have Orianna right there. Obviously, Anivia's also back, but her teleport is available. She could choose to come in.
Yeah, you basically have to, if you're on the side of Sensei or Silver Drillers, you basically have to look for pick plays. That's kind of all you can do when you're at this 3 Drake deficit. You're behind in gold. You kind of just have to play through the jungle, look to bush bait or find some sort of positioning error on the side of Sensei Randals, and look for the picks where you can get them and slowly build back your lead and maybe get enough of a play where you can.
Here comes the ultimate from Xerath.
Open up the chopper here. Why not? Why not, right?
He just mistimed that last shot going on to St. Valentine, but they should be totally out of the fight right now as here comes Robo Monkey. They could be looking for the engage right now. A flash away from Waffles because he knows they might drop that shockwave as Xavier is now sneaking up on this corner, trying to drop the stun, but it is not far enough to get them. A nice double knockup from Yo Daddy's Daddy. 5 people now here for the side of Sensei Randals, and they are basically trying to jam in this mid lane, get clean vision on the blue side, and then look for this Drake. That's going to be Soul.
I kind of hope this game goes to like 40, 50 minutes so we can just watch Anivia versus Sivir wave clear forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, never ending. Yeah, it's really tough thinking on the side of Sensei, or thinking on the side of Silver Drillers. It's like you put in so many resources into banning out their bot lane, and yet Kev Has Allergies is performing pretty great on this.
Oh, they're walking into a little bit of a death trap right here. Really nice use of the E from Frankie as he's able to get away a little further, but oh, they're able to follow up that CC gorgeously. Look at how much they have, and they stack it. But the flash, ultimate shockwave. Yo Daddy's Daddy doesn't care. He's going to flash onto them and do a lot of damage. There goes Malphite dropping on down. Gluttony should be next, but a nice flash heal keeps him alive. 2 go down, 0 for the side of Sensei Randals, and this should be Soul for them.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely commend Silver Drillers for not, laying down and letting the game end on a sore note by looking for these plays. But unfortunately, they're just a little bit too far behind to really make anything happen substantial. I don't think Anivia has even dropped into egg form this game, honestly.
I haven't seen it, no.
Yeah, I think.
Can you guys check if that passive went down that fight? I don't think I saw it, but it
didn't.
The passive did not go. Didn't go down that fight.
I don't think that it has either. And the 600 shutdown though.
Yeah,
will
so
be
they're just
really
playing
juicy
really
if
well
they give it up.
Across the board. And like I was saying, it's just like they put a lot of resource into like trying to nerf out this bot lane, and yet it's tough because their bot lane is still performing really well on the side of Sensei Randals, and they have some of these power picks in the solo lanes. The Anivia not even dying a single time, not even popping a passive. Having to burn flash that last fight, but
the ultimate from Xerath being dropped now, looking for Karma deep in the forest here. He's not going to be able to find it, but so much of this is already gone as Frankie spots it out. Is he going to get that Miracle Steal? Is this going to be the THC curse? It's not. They're able to pick up Baron Nashor safely. That THC curse is just for a few listeners out there.
The THC curse only actually applies to THC. All the off-branch of iterations of that former crew does not have the curse for some reason.
Really?
It was, yeah, no, CB doesn't have it, Sensei Randals,
It's a
Kickin Squads
combination of those people. It's
just
not...
a combination for some reason.
Uh-oh, Yo Daddy's Daddy's alone. In the sense of the word,
but... He does not care. He says, I'm alone.
Yeah, this doesn't matter.
He wants to be alone. He loves this. This is his favorite part. He didn't even tell his team he was doing this. He just started doing it.
No, he's going to get another Penta here.
No,
okay,
I don't
he's
think
not,
so.
But...
I don't...
No, he dies, but he just wanted to see how far he could get in a 1v5.
Yeah, he was limit
There's
testing.
limit testing, and then there's that, which is just like, there is no... I am the limit.
Yeah.
The limit, yeah. It's a little wild right there.
Not the best macro play, but I commend it, and honestly it makes for a great spectator experience.
Look, there's nothing Chad about good macro. I'm sorry. Like, sometimes you just gotta do that, you gotta go top, you just gotta kick ass.
You
Tell
just
Free
gotta
Fat.
kick
There's
ass
nothing
until
Chad
your
about
team
good
flames you
macro.
for it. But I don't think they're gonna flame Yo's Daddy as they are looking for plays from this bottom side of the
Malphite
map.
getting caught out. He does have his ultimate, and Randal's a little bit closer. Not going to drop it onto him, but Waffle's just frontlining for so long. He's such a tanky dude, especially with these 2 Mountain Drakes they've got and the Soul.
He's too big, and honestly, with with tabbies or plated steel caps, his mythic completed and that thorn mail as well. It's pretty tough for
Chemist
anyone
Allergies
like
is out of
Pantheon.
position, and he is going to get blown up. A teleport is coming in. Actually, a double teleport. Can Chemist Allergies get far enough
no
away?
way.
He can't, but it looks like the reinforcements are coming in, and they're going to scare everybody else off because you just dropped 2 ultimates onto 1 guy, and now we're looking for everything onto you. Waffle's going to get right up next to him right here as they are going to pop Robo Monkey all the way back to the fountain. Malphite backing over back in that base area, but they've got Baron. They're going to push up the mid lane right here, and Gluttony shouldn't be able to clear it that quickly.
No,
Gonna drop
this
the ult.
is going to be a bit of a problem, I think.
No unstoppable force. No Orianna for 40 seconds. They're going to push on in. Now, they don't have the same type of push power that they would if Lucian were still up, but he's up in about 20 seconds. Everybody else is trying to hurt Waffles, and he just does not care. Look at the damage coming out onto Gluttony, though, just from 1 spell. They miss that hook, but the ultimates are now being dropped onto him. They pick up Malphite up in the front line. Now they've got no tank to be with them. Pantheon now finally channeling that back. Might have to drop the ultimate, try to clear some stuff. Safe Valentine drops super, super low from that 1Q. Xerath just poking holes like Swiss cheese into the side of Silver Drillers. They should be able to close out the game, but a lot of damage onto Yo Daddy's Daddy. He does heal up a little bit from that kill right there. Now it's a 3v4. They've got some minions left, but a really nice stun means that Sivir goes bye-bye, and it looks like game 1 is going to go to Sensei Randal's intermediate Kickin Squids here in this best of 3.
Yeah, really well played out of the side of Sensei Randal's, just across the board, looking amazing, and finishing off really strong to end off game 1 on a win.
So, not Jerome, what changes do you want to see in terms of draft? Now, Silver Drillers were the lower seed. They have game side choice game 2.
Yeah.
What side do you want to see them pick? Why? What do you want to see the changes in draft? And are you trying to guess, if you're on the side of Sensei Randal's, what changes are there going to be and how are we going to have to adapt to their mild changes?
I feel like you need to go for something with a little bit more oomph in the first 2 picks than Karma and Pantheon.
Okay.
Like, they're both fine, but they're not really, like, comp-defining or game-breaking picks. I didn't really like what I saw out of the Pantheon today. I don't think he made excellent use of his ultimate. So maybe pivoting onto something that is going to be a little bit better in team fights, because it did sort of seem like that's the way they ended up playing.
Yeah.
So swapping out the Pantheon for something a little bit more boring. I know it's a pain in the ass, but like picking something that can be a bit more consistent. Side selection, I don't think was the problem this game. I think you could go either blue or red depending on what you want to do. The Aatrox definitely feels like it should be ban-worthy. Honestly, the Anivia does too, but it all comes down to, like, you might just have to decide, all right, we're going to try to counterpick one of these, ban the other, because, I mean, you only have so many bans, right? So.
Yeah, I think it's really tough to choose what you want to change on the side of Silver Drillers in draft. Like we were saying, I think they had the right idea in mind, but like to your point, I think you're right on the Pantheon switch up. There were a few times where Pantheon really looked for plays, and I was happy that that was happening. But they weren't really able to amount to much, and maybe something that is either a higher comfort pick or possibly something that just is able to scale into late game a little bit better. Maybe look for some of those late game win conditions. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that they thought about in this draft, is maybe looking for something that plays really well mid late game, because the action early game, like there was a lot of action, but especially out of bot lane, that was kind of a farm fest. Besides jungle intervention and that one kind of crazy like 5v5 that erupted, but for a lot of it was a farm fest. So maybe looking for like some hyper carry late game 80 carry out of the side of Silver Drillers, kind of give you a little bit of a late game win condition, might be nice. Other than that, I'm not really sure what you switch up for bans. I think if you're blue side, you kind of have to look to take away one of the things you were going to ban, and just throw a ban on Aatrox or the Nivea or Nautilus. I mean, you got to pick one, I guess. It's tough. It's tough to pick one of those three, though.
No, I agree. I think that the problem is a lot of teams in economy sometimes there's only so many threats that you feel like, okay, we can ban out XYZ and then we can counter pick the other part. I think there's so many ideas of threats from the side of Sensei Randalls especially that what's happening in this instance is you've got different ways to approach the game, but when we look at the last draft that did happen, the first, I think, 5 or 6 champs that were picked were full flexes from every side. I think out of the first 6 champions, only Orianna was pretty obvious about where it was going, and yet helped define where Karma and Pantheon could be going. But we still weren't sure. Like, there was still the ability for Karma to go top. The way these guys are drafting, I mean, huge props for an economy draft. Watching last game was kind of like a chess match in the very beginning, and I really like to see it. I want to see how this one develops because the Lucian pick baited 2 more bans that were basically just freeing up Xavier's champ pool because they were all convinced, and Lucian is definitely a big champion of Xavier, so thinking that was not foolish. I'm pretty sure it would have fooled me and you. We were also thinking that Xavier was going to be on that Lucian, right?
No, yeah, 100% fooled me. Just knowing I know both these teams pretty well, especially knowing Sensei Randall's player base. I totally thought that Lucian was I knew it was a flex, but I was like most likely, it's kind of the same with Nautilus. I was like Nautilus could flex, but I know Rat House, I know what he likes to play. I know Waffles is a huge Nautilus fan, and same with the Lucian. Like I just thought those 2 picks are kind of cemented jungle mid. So I think playing those cards out. Game 1 really helped them in draft. I think both teams were really great at drafting in a way, like you were saying, it was super flexible, looking for ways to like come up with advantages out of nothing in draft. But I think on the side of Sensei Randall's, they were just able to get more comfort picks at the end of the day that found leads in the draft through those flexes. So, and the ones that they had to like maybe sacrifice, Kev has allergies to champ pool for, and for the sake of Xavier, I think it worked out really well, and I think he performed fine in the Lucian. I mean, nothing crazy happened. He wasn't popping off early game or anything, but as far as how he played those team fights and looked for advantages, it looked great. As Eb Dingus invites me to a game.
Eb Dingus also invited me to a game.
And me too.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, I've got to hit the bricks. I've been actually fired from the LBLCS. I was just served a pink slip.
No, that's not what happened. You said, "Hey, is it
okay
if I leave early?"
Bungle actually, he sent me a private message.
I have our messages. I'm going to screenshot them and put them.
No. And he said, "Look, not Jerome, baby." He calls me baby. We don't want you around anymore. You are a disgrace. And you got weird looking toenails, and that was basically it. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to stick around for the rest of the series. I will be crying in the LBLCS memorial hot tub until I'm inevitably kicked out of there too. So thank you very much, everyone, and I will see you later. Actually, I won't, but take care.
Bye, Jerome.
Bye, Jerome.
Well, if he's out, I'm leaving too.
Wait, no, wait. It is no. Oh my God! Don't
me
leave me with this motherfucker.
Buggleberry Finn.
How did Eb Dingus even get in this channel? I thought that was the one guy I blocked. Hang on 1 second.
I just like to set fear into casters by leaving Buggle with Dingus for just a hot second.
It's the same bands. It's the same 6 bands.
Yeah.
There's 10 bands total.
Yeah, it's the same first 6 bands. I guess I wasn't clear enough for you. I'm sorry, Dingus.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
Was that it? Oh my God, Raka instant picked up after the Nautilus is picked up.
Sensei Randall's Sojourner's pulling out that Raka. Raka's actually a huge pick for them. They have been known for a while as one of those teams that, and I don't think this is going to be a flex Raka. I think this is going to be a support Raka, but who knows with them? They played my first ever scrim against Silver Drillers. They played Raka top and Ornn jungle, and it was a wild. Okay, what is? Yeah, all right.
Remember,
What's
they're
go-
playing true hypercom. Remember what they're playing hypercarry. They're gonna pick. They gotta fucking ban hypercarries or pick something because this is
They're gonna
get
play with
heel cutting
Kog'Maw
quick. They gotta get
or
heel cutting
something.
mad quick because this is gonna turn into a weird ass slaughter fest.
What is going on here? Is it gonna be a Raka top, or mid maybe? I don't know. This is what we're talking about when we talk about Silver Drillers, like unorthodox, crazy, weird drafts.
Yeah.
Although I don't think you pick the Nami I think picking the Nami R2 is really bad, honestly.
Wow, Sensei Randall saying, "Hey, guess what? You left the 3 champions up. That now here's the thing. This is a Gigabane Brait. Whoa, wait, words.
Giga brain bait.
I need
Giga
Giga
bait brain.
Gigabait brain.
Bait brain.
Gigabait. Yeah, Gigabait brain. Oh, phew, okay. I sometimes forget how to say words, especially late at night. Because Lucian, we talked about this earlier. Cav just played it and clearly can, and it's a more favorite for Xavier. But now you've got to make the choice. Did we ban that? I think at this point you just ban top.
I think you have to ban Aatrox.
I think you have to get Aatrox out of the game.
I think you have to, right? I mean, they've got Misfortune out. Maybe they throw an ADC, but I guess you
throw Raka against A.
Do you
Is that what's
still
happening? Are
ban
they gonna play
do you still ban
Soraka into
Anivia?
Aatrox?
You probably do, right? Yeah, okay. You still ban Anivia. There must be Anivia Aatrox bans. That's what's gonna happen here. After last game, that has to be it.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, they're doing the same bans they did. I mean, Sensei Randall's is gonna probably ban Zac here. It's the same bans from the same draft.
Yeah, I mean,
from them.
Nocturne could be a laner. It's much more likely that Nocturne is in that jungle, especially with Raka and Nami picked up. Those are likely not in the jungle. It could be a Raka Nami bot lane though.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna ban one of each for the mid and bot, which means full range for top lane up there. They're gonna have to try to counter whatever he does pick. That could be what they're holding. They're gonna ban away the Malphite because that was a big issue for them. The ability for Silver Drillers to engage on Sensei Randall so easily. That's a good takeaway.
Yeah, the Malphite's that's a good ban. I don't like I really don't like the R1 R2 out of Silver Drillers. I think taking Raka early I think is totally fine, but I don't know if I would take it.
Oh, this is the full. This is the
they
full.
need a
fucking
tank
hyper
for them.
carry comp.
This is
Lulu
just-
last. Lulu last. Lulu last. Lulu last.
What? I don't.
I told you, Silver Drillers does weird ass shit. And
I mean,
you know
I
what? They
know
go
they
1-1
do.
with a lot of people.
I know they do weird stuff, but
Oh.
it's playoffs, and this is too weird for me.
This is too weird for you. This is
This is too
LBLCS
much.
high quality.
I love it, but they are coming off of a loss. I kind of think they need to go in a different direction. I mean, they need a tank. They're not gonna. I mean, they have.
They
to
don't
have
need a
AD
fucking
carry
tank. They
somewhere.
got all these heals and shields.
Like they, is it Lux?
I think if
I'm not gonna
Nautilus
even try to
catches
figure
one of these support players, and if they kill them, it can be really, really over. And the burst from Vigard, that's a really smart pickup.
Yeah.
Anything that can burst, anything that can
Mhm.
trap them in one singular location is going to be massively effective against them. They do have the opportunity right now to switch up how they're going to play this comp a little bit with one last pick. It's not going to be the Draven. He keeps hovering that, but I really don't think it's going to be the Draven.
It's gonna be like
We
a
could see
Cog-
ADC.
I don't know.
We
I
could
guess
see-
it could be like a Lux Nami bot lane. I don't know what to expect. I have no idea.
I
What's going
think
on
it's
in this draft
probably a mid
anymore.
or top. Yeah, it's going to be Camille that's actually
Camille.
locked in. So I was going to say mid or top because I think Raka's going in the other, and I think Nocturne was already jungle. And so I got to imagine Camille's to deal with Urgot. And they just put
Yeah.
Raka against the
Which is
Vigard.
another classic Yo Daddy's daddy pick is Urgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I'm at a loss for words on this draft. This is
Try
very.
to think
I want
positively.
it.
Try to think
Okay.
positively.
Okay. So hold on. So I want it to succeed because of how ridiculous it is, and that's what I
Sure.
love about it. Is that it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think Sensei Randall's just. I think they won draft. Because it's just it's so much harder for silver drillers to execute this draft correctly. Like I think in just like you throw the same level players like into every single role, and I think that Sensei Randall's just wins through just having a composition that kind of can do more at all in all aspects than Silver Drillers, except for the healing department, the healing and shielding. And that's kind of where Silver Drillers win. So if Nocturne is able to get ahead
Mm-hmm.
early,
Yep.
/ level 6, and they're able to snowball through Nocturne, then it's a different game. And that Nocturne's a menace. And that's where you win.
Yeah, I
But,
think Camille could also be that, but you'd have to basically
Yeah.
capitalize on like a gank that goes south for them. Or you could. I mean, Yo Daddy's Daddy could tower dive you again, and you could outplay it.
And I think Urgot's a much easier champ to play in the top lane than Camille, like effectively. I would have liked to see like a hyper carry comp, probably focused around an 80 carry, honestly. Like a Jinx or a Kog'Maw or something like that. But I'm curious to see what they pull out. I mean, Camille could be great setup for Nocturnes, a lot of healing, a lot of shielding. Nocturne kind of wants to run in and burst people though, so I don't know how much like the Nami Soraka are gonna be able to like heal up anyone on the team really besides Camille in these fights. Like they don't really have much like poke or
I'm
like
sorry.
long.
Was one of them Ash, and we didn't see them type?
Oh,
I couldn't see
Maybe.
chat. I don't think.
I couldn't
Maybe
either.
I could. Or you couldn't. Okay.
Okay. Well,
This makes infinitely
changes.
more sense
Oh
to my head.
Thank goodness.
Which is really funny because I already put the bet out, and I bet you people bet based off of it.
Oh my gosh, dude. I mean, okay.
right, you know
so
what?
is
It's
this
only-
okay? Thank goodness. All right. This is so much better. Wow. I'm
deleting this and returning points because I think
Yeah.
everybody missed that.
I don't. Yeah, I would.
I'm gonna
put
restart
points.
the prediction. It's gonna say who wins game 2 this time.
Yeah, because you need an 80 carry. The Nami. Okay, so it was an Ash picked, not a Nami R2, which it just
That changes the
salvages
game
all the
so
respect I
much.
have for Silver Drillers, because Nami R2 made no sense there. It was very strange, and their comp was really weird without an 80 carry. Now you actually have a comp because you have Ash ult, and you have a person to
Yeah.
heal, and you have a way to play these fights around Lux and Ash, which have global ult, like semi-global ultis or global ultis in the case of Ash, and you have a lot of healing and zone control with Ash support abilities onto playing around the Nocturne. So put what I said before aside for a minute, because I actually think they have a comp now. The Nami Soraka felt too much without an 80 carry to back it up.
Yeah, I mean,
or
obviously they
tank.
still would have had Nocturne and Camille to do AD damage, but they wouldn't have that range that now Ash and Lux can provide from carry perspectives. I will say, though, Raka, I think, is a pretty decent pickup in that bot lane now that it's matched with the Ash against
Yeah.
Xerath. You can kind of negate that poking. Xerath really has to start focusing on that Raka.
Yeah, and Raka's recent buffs I think are pretty substantial. And they the way they changed her ultimate does help out a bit. So I think Raka's actually a great pick, and just like kind of popping into the meta more recently. So we'll see how it performs here. I know Saint Valentine, aka Roselle, is known for playing Raka too, so I think it's a big comfort pick on him.
It supports his
So-
playstyle, definitely.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I still do ultimately like even with the Ash. I think I like the draft out of Sensei Randall's a bit better. I just think that it's like in a team fight, like when I imagine a team fight happening in my head around Dragon, sure, if you get a Nocturne ulti at the right spot, if you get a good pick with Ash
Ashen.
and Lux, like
Yeah.
you can make plays. But we've seen Sensei Randall's perform really well on this like Nautilus front line. And I think that having a Vigar offers similar zone controls as Nivea, and it gives you burst damage for some of those squishy members. Zerath is another great pick, coming again from Rat House, and they just got a game in as Lucian Zerath, so they're already super warmed up, super comfortable
Right.
on those picks, have shown that they can survive the early game and make it into these big fights. And Urgot Nautilus offer like the similar front line to Sensei Randall's as the Aatrox and the Nautilus before. It's a very similar composition coming out of Sensei Randall's. They basically said, "Hey, we played this comp really well last time. We
Yeah.
were able to execute it pretty much to perfection. Most of their members only having one death. You know, on the side of Sensei Randall's. So I think them running it back with a really similar draft or really similar comp is really smart. And I think that they performed very well. I think their comp is pretty easy to execute front to back. And I'd ultimately give the edge to the side of that team. But that's not to say that there can't be plays made as silver drillers. And I commend them looking for a team that can make picks, because I think that's a big part of what could have helped them last game.
Yep.
Is that they were playing for these big 5v5 team fight ultis, and a lot of times it didn't really happen, or there were advantages kind of elsewhere in the map. If they can kind of get to objectives early, which they actually often did, they can maybe look for some big picks, and look for some Nocturne ultis, look
Mm-hmm.
for some Ash plays with that ultimate, or via Lux, which I think is a great pickup for enabling Nocturne. I think Nocturne Lux is actually an excellent combination. She can kind of assist everything Nocturne wants to do, assuming she can get to where he's going, which sometimes is the disadvantage. But Nocturne does have follow up with global ultis. He has a Soraka ulti, he has an Ash ulti, and he has a Lux ulti. So we'll see how that synergizes with Camille and if they're able to play around some of those picks well. But in the 5v5 team fight setting, I do generally give the edge to Sensei Randall's.
I think their zone control, like you're talking about, definitely is advantageous for them. I do agree also with your point to being able to find picks, because a lot of Sensei Randall's got ahead, and Silver Drillers were in this spot where they felt nervous or uncomfortable to engage unless they had Unstoppable Force and Shockwave up, and then they try to make a play. And they executed it really well. If they were even in gold, some of those fights absolutely would have gone in their favor, but they weren't even in gold, and that's why they weren't able to execute those fights the same way. So maybe a little bit more focus on using those hawk shots from that Ash pick to know where Nautilus is, to know where you need to play around, and either playing on the other side of the map and saying, hey, just concede 10 CS instead of a kill and tower pressure and plates and all this other stuff. Just lose some CS. It's okay to have a disadvantaged lane state as long as you're not making a big mistake of pushing out when you shouldn't be. If they can mitigate their losses in that early game, they definitely can win, because we saw Kev get poked out, and obviously they had a double TP to come on in at the end of that last game. But when you have that Ash ultimate, when you have the Nocturne ult, you have this global presence that can be followed up with serious repercussions. If Sensei Randalls are going to get punished if they're out of place and if they're going into these places unaccompanied to ward. So that's really important. The other thing I want to mention is, if you're not like accompanied to ward, you're tangoing alone, and it does take two to tango. So I'll be right back.
You beat me to it. I also have to be right back after you come back. But in the meantime, I will hold this cast together in the loading screen by talking about the skins. Astro Nautilus coming out again. Pretty huge skin from Waffles. No skin on the side of the Vigar, but we also are seeing the Zerath and Lucian with some okay skins. I like the Lux skin as well as the Camille skin. I think Project Ash is the coolest Ash skin. And yeah, that Urgot skin, it creeps me out a lot, which I guess is the point. Good art is all about creating emotion, and that Urgot skin makes me emotional. Whether or not it's a good way or a bad way is besides the point. But yeah, that's quite the Urgot skin. Um, Across the board, though, I'd probably say I'd give it to the side of Silver Drillers because the Program Camille Ash combo, that's pretty cool looking. Um, Even though Astronautis is probably one of the best skins in the game, in my opinion. Um, and we'll see where we go from here. Um, Take my schmeckles. Papo. Papo's the OG, a good guy. And also is just a fantastic caster. Been carrying the casts a lot these days. So shout out to that. Um, PBS saying Nocturne is just here to reach Vigar and Xerath. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think Nocturne could turn those fights and get onto backline. And a classic pause. You know, it wouldn't be the LBLCS if we didn't have a pause. Wow. You know, that's how it goes.
So Mr. Dying Duck actually requested a compliment. So Mr. Dying Duck, you're very handsome. If you had, actually, I'm Mr. Dying Duck's biggest fan.
As they always say, now it took you two to tango, but now it takes me three to tango as I take a momentary
just go tango. Just go
break
go walk
during
to your
this
fridge,
pause,
boy.
so that Buggle can talk alone while we pause again.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what this buffoon had been talking to you guys about. We actually can't even zoom out while we're in this right here. But I am serious about this. I'm very serious about this, actually. There's 28 people right now that are watching this. Listen to me very carefully. Any cent, any cents, any dollars, anything that you donate during this second game, okay, any amount of money, is going straight to St. Valentine's computer fund. I promise you that. I'll screenshot the amount and I will send it to him. All right? Because let me tell you, I can't imagine waiting this long to get into a game. How does he play ranked? How does a man play ranked games? He can't. He can't possibly. He must go to the library to do it. So I want you to think about that. Oh, we've got a Tango request. I have to do some of these, so hang on 1 second, guys. As a little ASMR for you guys. Hang on. Maybe I can, like... All right, well, that was me swallowing some stuff. I tangled real hard right there, if you count that, so...
A summoner has reconnected.
Mama always told me I don't have any sense. Well, I'm not going to correct your mom, but I am disappointed in her because of you, because you're there and you exist, Mighty. Mighty messaged me at, I want to say it was 8 a.m. a couple days ago, and he said, look how I look in these pajamas, and he just sent me a video of Shrek dancing on a grave that said Buggleberry Finn. And I don't know. I just want to tell people publicly because I don't know how I felt about it. I'm still coming to terms with my feelings, I think. It was weird. It was really surreal to watch in a classroom, which is where I was. Finally, we do have a reconnect, though. We should be unstopping the game. So we won't make it stop. We'll make it unstop, Mighty. And there we go, and I'll have a nice little zoom out in just a couple of seconds.
I love coming back right at the moment that the game pauses.
You were sitting like an extra 10 feet away. Total, and you're just like, oh, it's unpaused. I'm going to walk up now.
It's unpaused. No. I did not do that, but it would have been funny if I did.
Are you frozen at 15? Please tell me you're frozen at 15.
Yes, of course. Oh, I expect it at this point, honestly. Wow, I just gotta... Okay, I just got a Discord notification for Rhythm Bot on some server. I don't know which server. It was just like Rhythm Gnome or like gnome noises or something. Or like goblin noises. I forget what it said, but it's something like some sort of creature,
30 seconds until minions
some sort of
spawn.
woodland creature, some mythical sort of thing noises.
Are you listening
and
to it right now? You can't possibly.
no,
be
it's
listening.
some server.
Kevin's
that I'm
allergy is
part
actually
of.
getting engaged on a little bit right here by Frankie and St. Valentine, but there's only 2 of them. He shouldn't have to burn any type of summoner. He's actually got backup coming in as well. He does take a couple auto attacks and a key from St. Valentine, but oh, the no return damage does not connect. So Ward goes over the wall.
Looking for some of those early game plays. The 3-man invade
Minions have spawned.
turned into nice little health bar trade, but ultimately doesn't matter too much. Gives them a little bit of early vision, but both sides got some of that early vision onto the buffs. So I don't think it's going to amount to too much.
One thing I like to see in series games, like this is a best of 3. We're on game 2 right now. Sensei Randal's the blue side. This game took game 1.
Yep.
But we can't have another Mountain Drake Soul, which I do like. That's the first Drake that will be coming up in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So it's nice that they'll have a different thing to be playing for. It might be something that one team might not find crazy useful, and the other team might. I think you could see opinions for Cloud Drake coming off for both teams for sure. They're definitely all oriented, but not going to be as important as if it's Ocean Soul here. And you can get that Nautilus to be in this unkillable state with Yo Daddy's Daddy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Cloud Soul. That is just how playoffs go sometimes. Yeah, Mountain Soul, something different. I mean, it's kind of good for Silver Drillers, honestly, because if Sensei Randoms happen to get a Mountain Soul, I think Nautilus and Urgot would be kind of unkillable. As
Yo Daddy's Daddy getting
say.
super good positioning, but actually, Beery Bree, hits level 2 right there, is going to use that E to try to zoop away. A flash forward is going to do a lot of damage. Can she get all the way away? She burns her flash to get underneath the tower and will be safe up there in the top lane. His bot lane is just doing a little bit of skirmishing down here. The gold lead, very slim, but there is a little bit of one as Rathouse getting poked out very heavily by Gluttony. Now going to try to fire back right onto St. Valentine, who... This is just a crazy poke bot lane down here.
Yeah. That's really annoying to deal with.
Yeah.
The Raka. I mean, they do have the Xerath, but Raka can kind of move faster and punish Xerath's movements a little bit more.
And they're playing a little more defensive on that Raka with the item they got. So they got that Relic Shield. They want to be able to clear those minions and be able to do a little bit extra. But nice poke, yeah.
Oh, looking for that play.
There is a gank up in the top lane, and they know Yo Daddy's Daddy has no flash, but he is going to get feared away from them, and they're not going to be able to capitalize on anything. Gluttony takes a tower shot, but gets the heal right back from St. Valentine. He's going to get hit by another piece of poke from Rathouse. Kevin's allergy just stepped up very far. He does have his heal available if anything does come in. Robo Monkey might receive a gank right now as Waffles is looking for something a little bit aggressive, maybe just to zone off of this wave. Frank Key also moving up. The hook doesn't hit.
It was a good attempt. Just moseying on through as Nautilus.
Yeah, they might actually look at Frank Key right here. Xavier does a good job rocking that electrocute.
Setting up that scuttle as Soraka's able to move down into the river faster.
Yeah, and actually Frankie on Xavier, who's alone right now over there, does not get the flash off in time, and first blood over to him. Waffles now coming down here to the bot lane. He's going to have a little bit of engage with Rathouse, but they are focusing the wrong target if they want to finish him off. A nice flash heal from these guys. Really well executed, but everybody else is in reinforcements now as Rathouse is running for the hills. A nice kill by Frankie. Waffle's going to try to flash back in to find a kill, but a nice heal from Soraka means they cannot finish off Gluttony. Yes, Xavier has teleported right back down, but Frankie is in a really solid spot to stay alive. St. Valentine just doing too much work on that rocket. I mean, MVP of this game already goes to him.
Yeah. Okay. You know, Silver Drillers must have heard my criticism for their draft because they're saying, hey, we are going to do exactly what we need to do and get this Nocturne 2 kills at level, or at before 5 minutes. So 2 kills on the Nocturne, we got 1 on Raka, and it's already looking pretty great for the side of Silver Drillers, who are coming back with some fire, saying, you know, game 1 didn't go our way, but we're going to make our draft work. And Nocturne having an early lead is a really, really important way to get this game snowballing in their favor.
Yeah, and I like what we're seeing out of the way they're playing. The good movement and rotation from RoboMonkey and Frankie to know to keep pushing bottom, even though they got that kill around that mid bush. Super smart of them. I would say also a little bit of poor focusing. I think they're not respecting St. Valentine's Raka enough. I think that they kind of ignored it once it was a little bit out of range, and instead of going for it, they kept putting damage onto things that could be healed.
Yeah, and I think it's tough because Raka hasn't really been in the meta, honestly. It's not something that a lot of these teams have been pulling out. It's not something that people have been seeing a ton in solo queue and in normal games. So they're probably not used to the amount of healing and disruption that Soraka just has in her kit. And how slippery Soraka is, even without much much ability to move around as far as abilities go. She has her passive, which gets her 2 allies quickly, and can just move around and negate a lot of what you want to do when you want to go in, setting them up for some plays. I am curious though, like what happens in this top lane, because at some point, Urgot versus Camille, it's going to turn spicy. I think one of these players eventually slips up and goes a little bit too ham. Urgot opting for the double Doran's Blade early on. We'll see how that pays off as we see Nautilus looking for a gank.
Yeah, and they're going to catch Raka dead in her tracks right there. She does have a really nice flash to get a little bit further away. Gluttony's in a lot of trouble, though. St. Valentine looking backwards. He does get a little bit of a heal off. Can they get the last auto? Kev's Allergy's going to pick up that kill. So definitely somebody you want to have that gold on. We saw him play super well game 1 on it. And a little bit of bank right there.
Yeah, and I think that Waffles, again, playing really well in this Nautilus, just setting his team up for success, making sure he gets the CC on, looking for smart ganks that allow his team to snowball leads. Looking for that boss fight is really great, and I think that those are the kind of places to look for. But we'll see if anything happens down here.
They're dropping more damage on the Frankie right now. Gonna use that blast cone to go over the wall. This Mountain Drake is available, but starting it up could definitely be risky.
Actually, is level 6.
Ooh.
So he could look for something. Might see Kev.
Doing a really good job actually fighting this RoboMonkey right now, but the ultimate is going to come in. He does have his heal up in a couple of seconds, but he has to live long enough to be able to use it, and he doesn't. He is feared, and he is running for the hills as 2 of them are sent back to the fountain. And a little over-aggression from these guys.
Yeah, and I
nice
think Kevin
stun.
was actually kind of out of position from there.
Great
even though he
ultimate.
was looking for damage. Yeah, nice
Really
job
well
there
done up in the top lane. Really
yeah, like
well
I was
done.
saying, the Camille or the Urgot eventually was gonna get the better of one of them pretty soon.
That was so
Frankie
close. That
looking
was so
for a
close.
good play onto Kev has allergies though. I think Kev was a little bit too caught off position, looking a little bit too ham to make a play onto that Lux, and ultimately had to really play around the Nautilus a little bit more there. He needs to remember that there is a Nocturne who is now 4-0 in the game.
Yeah.
So looking to play around his big beefy boys with CC, I think is going to be really important. Sure, you are Lucian, you are slippery, but without Nautilus there, there's not a ton that they can really do about the Nocturne. Urgot's kind of stuck in the top lane. They do have Vygar Cage, like they do have the Z-Wrap, but the Nocturne is just going to dive in and kill before most of their team can do much.
Yeah.
Nautilus, I think, has that like kind of insta CC to deal with Nocturne, but no one else on their team
I think
really does.
they have one real way to deal with Nocturne, and it's on a very long cooldown. I think the exhaust on Rat House is how you're going to end up actually doing. Oh, an ultimate's actually going to drop by Ashe. Is it going to hit Vygar in the mid lane? It does, and the connection means that they are dropping all the damage that they can. A flash forward and try to get away. He will go down in the end, but does burn Lux's flash as well. 1-7 goes the score. A 2K gold lead for Silver Drillers, and they are punching up this game, looking really clean.
Yeah, Robo playing like a robot over there as Nocturne jumps in.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming up in the top lane. He does flash away, trying not to get feared. He's nearsighted, though, right now, as he might not be able to escape. A good slow being dropped onto them, but the flash forward from Camille means they are able to pick up the kill.
Wow, this is insane. What a turn of events from game 1 to game 2. Silver Drillers is punching so hard in this game. It is insane, honestly. It is actually crazy how the mental of this team has just turned around. These guys were so far behind by the end of game 1, and yet are just looking vigorous. I mean, Frankie is now stealing away buffs. They're looking for plays
Might
topside
get caught right now,
midside.
though. A lot of damage being dropped onto him, and they hit him up in the air. That's a shutdown gold onto Nautilus. Not necessarily the one you wanted on right there, but still going to be big. The pause coming out.
They call it a caster curse. Can never hype up someone too much before they inevitably
So this isn't perfect timing for a pause, but it is relatively acceptable. It doesn't look like anybody's really in kill threat or kill zone right now.
No.
There's a little bit of poke going on down the bot lane, but they waited until that Nocturne was fully picked off. They've now done the pause. It's hard. It's really hard in these games. Nice coriander crack. Oh, it was beautiful.
crispy crack.
It's really hard to pause at correct times in the middle of games, given what you know about your teammates and what's actually happening. Xavier getting poked out there in the mid lane, and St. Valentine getting poked down here in the bot lane. Gluttony now might be in trouble, but they might be focusing the wrong person. The ultimate going to come a flash to try to get the right targets and exhaust onto Gluttony. They're going to flash away from some damage as well. St. Valentine now in the back, but no mana on Kev's allergies. They're going to have to retreat.
Yeah, I like the aggression out of Kev, but unfortunately that ultimate from the side of St. Valentine was just way too big of a heal for them to really follow up on a play and make it turn into a kill.
A little bit of a miss right there. Gluttony has ultimate available, but not enough mana to cast the spell.
St. Valentine has clearly dodged a couple wrenches because he's doing well against that poke out of Xerath.
Yeah.
As he looks to clear some more.
Robo Monkey looking for Xavier. Doesn't connect on the binding. Does get some little damage on the E, but now might be falling in a little bit of trouble as the cage does come out. The exhaust onto Xavier, though, and the ultimate right here means they are going to find the damage to finish him off. He drops a little bit more damage because he knows Nautilus is coming in. The Q does not connect, though. If he can get the ultimate off underneath the tower, he'll be able to get the kill, but Frankie is smart enough not to follow. Yo Daddy's Daddy and Camille fighting up here in the top lane as the ultimate connects, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Wow. Ash ultimate from downtown also looking again to try to help out, but is not going to have anything to do with the fight. Camille wins it by herself.
These guys are playing so well across the map looking for plays. I mean, sometimes they're getting a little bit overzealous, I will say, but overall, they're just making the game go so fast. Like, they're just keeping the pace going really quick, and I think that's super important. Like, you have the Nocturne ahead. He's 6-1. You keep the snowball going. Lux is, sitting on a pretty fat stack of cash with those 6 assists, and you have an advantage topside. You pretty much have advantages everywhere on the map, and they're taking those advantages and turning them into more, and not stopping. And by looking for aggressive plays back to back to back, they're keeping the side of Sensei Randal's on their toes and not allowing them to take control because they're constantly looking to catch back up. If you're on the side of Sensei Randal's, I think you need to find a way to slow down the game right now, because right now the Nocturne is 6-1. He's too far ahead. You need to get that Vigar some stacks and start slowing the bleeding.
They might be chasing into a little bit of a trap right now. They do some damage onto St. Valentine, and a lot of poke is following, but the exhaust gets dropped as well. Xavier might be able to finish it off, but does not have ultimate available quite yet. A nice ultimate from Kev's allergies. The flash forward, a really good use of the slows right there. Can they get the ultimate off onto the right targets? They're not going to be able to finish off anyone. A huge Lux ult does come down as well. It's a 1-for-1 right now as both supports drop in the end, but Frankie does go down. That's going to be massive right as this Drake is spawning, and it's a pretty important one if it's going to be a one-off.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much a blunder on the side of Silver Drillers. I think that there was a lot of squishy members of their team out of position, and unfortunately really weren't able to make full use out of the Nocturne ulti. There were moments where I thought that fight could turn. The Lux into Nocturne combination was pretty great.
Lux, a lot of damage coming off. Is anybody going to come help him in this endeavor? Xavier's walking up. They're going to zone her off from the tower.
Yeah, they really can't let these front-to-back fights turn into that. They can't let their members get caught out. Their squishy members. Looking for these picks is really going to be important, and getting Nocturne ulti faster. Just taking out 1 or 2 members quick is going to be important because, like we were saying earlier on in the draft process, I think Sensei Randall's has a better like front to back line combination with like a Nautilus and Urgot in the front line than having that poke and sustain damage in the back line, and with some great burst coming out of Vygar. So I think that you have to play these fights a little bit more smart on the side of Silver Drillers, but you are still massively ahead, I think, just in far as gold alone. You're still much more ahead. So just playing these fights a little bit more carefully, and just paying attention to your positioning. If you're Raka, if you're Lux, where are you in relation to the enemy is going to be really, really important to how these fights play out.
I'm not going to say it's showing disrespect, but I'm saying maybe being slightly more naive towards your opponents is actually both of these guys' weaknesses right now. As a nice ultimate does connect onto it. St. Valentine drops super, super low. He does have a heal that could come out from Gluttony as the dive is all in, and they should be able to pick up Xerath. And oh my god, the Q damage is huge.
Yeah, Burr up there on that Camille played that dive really well. I like the aggression. I've been kind of quiet about the Camille this game, but I think it's showing up really well here. Now going at 401 as we see
an ultimate come up might actually kill on the back end right there. St. Valentine has about 1 health. The heal is still available from Ashe. Are they going to be able to drop it? Are they going to be able to use it? He is walking down right now. They don't even know. This over-aggression is going to bite them in the butt really soon, but a huge ultimate actually pulling in. The fear dropping down as well. But talk about something you should be afraid of. It's a Nightmare coming on in, going to pick up another kill. Goes to 8-2 as Waffles runs for the hills. He has reinforcements coming on in, though. He might turn with an auto attack. He's not quite on the same page as these guys, but Gluttony's right there, too. It's a 2-on-2. Could be a 3-on-3 if Soraka decides to stay. Looks like Nautilus isn't. Yeah,
and that was a shutdown, so I think ultimately that plays out better for Urgot than it does for Camille. Or for the side of Sensei Randall's, I guess. But yeah, like I was saying, that Camille is in general playing pretty well this game and showing up really well.
Xavier went for Leandris, which I do find interesting.
Yeah, I find that interesting as well.
So it's not going to have the same kind of burst, but maybe is saying, I want to have some type of different sustain damage. Okay, an ultimate, another one from Gluttony. We've seen these be very impactful here in the mid lane, and it looks like it might connect. It does, onto the right person, but Yo Daddy's Daddy is here to be a very important bodyguard to Xavier.
Yeah. I mean, Gluttony's has been on
sniper, dude. American sniper.
Gluttony, you should hop into CBD sometime and give my friend a couple of tips on Ashe ultis. I'd love it. I think he'd appreciate it greatly. How did hit an arrow? Sometimes I wonder. But yeah, like I don't know if that was a necessary arrow, just because.
Waffles in a lot of trouble. Does get a nice ultimate off. Forces a flash away from these guys and is soaking up so much damage from the front line of the side of Silver Drillers. Does go down in the end. Dragon's up in 50 seconds, so he will respawn in time actually to walk back here. They're going to have to dash back on that Camille as some spells were dropped in case it got through. Now we're back to that little devil's dance that we talk about. These two teams do a lot because you're not sure if they want to fully engage. They're looking for opportunities to go in, but they're also just trying to poke people out. And a nice engagement right here. They should be able to finish up Xavier pretty easily. A nice ultimate's going to pick up Rock on the backline. They actually trade extremely effectively. It's a 2-for-1 right now, and now the ultimate from Xerath could be enough to finish off Gluttony as long as everyone else is following it up, and it looks like they are. The Q has a nice connect. They actually remember the one shot, but the ultimate doesn't hit onto Kev. And Sensei Randall's magically turned that one. Nocturne never ulted, never came in, was stayed on that Herald, and they lost 4.
I don't know what's going on here. They, Sensei Randall's finding these ways to come back into this game. I mean, props to them for being able to find ways to pick apart Silver Drillers, even when behind.
Here comes the ultimate. Look, he doesn't have vision, though. He shouldn't be able to go in. He is trying to deny the fact that he might use his blast cone right now to go over, try to take it away. A nice smite from Waffles means there is no way you're taking it. Okay, nice hit though. Hey, Camille's right here waiting. Look at this. Look
I
at this.
think Gluttony is
Uh-oh,
just
uh-oh, uh-oh.
showing
They all
that he can
turn.
hit
They
him.
might be able to finish her off very quickly, though. Look at the burst damage that they have on this. She's trying to zap
Ooh.
away, but she's not. The auto attack from Rat House follows her over the wall. And all of a sudden, this game has flopped onto its head to be a major contender. The ball's in both sides of the court.
Yeah, what I will say is, hey, Gluttony, we know you can hit them. We've seen it, okay? You can hit the ultimates.
If this game came down to if Gluttony could get this Ash ult through the tiniest little hole, I think so many others take it.
It's like they're never at the timing I want them to be, but they're always so accurate. So I just don't know what to say about it. I guess a little pro and con there. Would you rather hit the ult at a weird timing or miss the ult at a good time? I guess I'd rather hit the ult. You know?
Yeah, you'd rather hit the ult. And you know, it
yeah.
wasn't terrible timing there. If Nocturne had held his ult to go in when that hit, it would give you that vision for a second as well. And Camille had just teleported in, so there could have been a little bit of a play around it.
Yeah.
I think the big fundamental macro problem from the play in the mid lane there was Nocturne valued the Rift Herald grab over helping his team fight in the mid lane. I think it's because, again, they didn't respect their opponents enough. They thought they were just strong enough to take it. But when you look at the gold spread, yes, they're up 3K, but they're up 3K almost alone in the jungle.
Yeah, it's on the Nocturne. I think you have to kind of, at that point, you have to choose to back off and let Nocturne just go do Herald, give up Drake, give up the fight, rather than look for something there. Or Nocturne has to make the commitment to go.
Talking about arrows that do connect. Gluttony shoots him, it's going to hit. The hook doesn't, though, and Waffles drops super low. Does get his ultimate off, so that Aftershock's going to protect him a little bit longer, but Gluttony now dropping low. Does take the ultimate to the dome. Has some people healing him. Xerath popping off in the backline, but this was dropped. There are 4... Okay, Lucian gets his back off.
Nice.
Wow, really nice kill. Maybe this Herald will pay off in a big, big way because Yo Daddy's daddy is now trying to run away. A second person is backing. They're trying to deal with this Herald. A nice ultimate now means they're all going all the way in for this Lucian. Who's just going to drop the ultimate and try to steer them away from the main base. Yo Daddy's daddy just trying to get away from them in general in the mid lane as he drops super, super low. Xavier holding on by his teeth right here. Going to try to at least slow down this next wave that's coming in, but he might die in the process if he oversteps his boundaries. Rocket going to take a tower shot as well, though. Yeah, he's not going to be able to hold on to this.
Wow. Silver Driller's turning it up like 4 notches just there. Like, that was an insane 30 seconds of just back-to-back plays. I mean, I think if you're the side of Sensei Randal's, you got to start punishing the Ashe a little bit more on those aggressive plays, and not letting her feed into so much damage.
Okay, hit onto Frankie. He could be in trouble, but they don't know Camille did not finish that back. She's waiting in the shadows a little bit. The blast cone's right here. They are baiting it. They're waiting over the wall, but guess who else can go over the wall? It's Camille. She's going to stun up Waffles. They are looking for the damage onto Right House, but they're not going to get it. Yo, Daddy's daddy is here. Kevin has allergies. Is going to get hit by that Lux also. He will go down. They're trying to do the damage onto Frankie. Can they finish him off? That's a shutdown gold for Nautilus yet again. The rest of the fight is going to go down. Guess who hit their ultimate? It's Ashe for the 100th time in one game. First time ever done before, but she gets hooked up right as well. Waffles drop super, super low. They don't have Vygar in this fight, so they don't have that burst damage, but they do have Xerath being able to poke out a little bit of night flash Q, but Rat House smart enough to actually save his flash for that exact moment. It's Gluttony's getting poked down, but Rocket just heals these guys up.
Yeah, these prolonged fights are not going to go to the side of Silver or Sensei Randal's, just because they have that Raka, which is just healing up so much damage. Love the burst out of Xavier, though.
Oh, goodbye. Oh, goodbye.
Okay, that's like the exact same play that I was talking about last time he played Vygar.
Yeah.
It's just the assassinations in the jungle.
He just walks up, sees where you're backing. All of his spells hit at once. You can't react.
He's like, goodbye. And that is like a big perk for Sensei Randal's is they have a Vygar who is just gonna scale into late game like super well. It's gonna start dishing out even with Leandri's, which isn't really like a burst item. Like even with that as the chosen mythic, the Vygar's still gonna. I mean, the Vygar's still gonna 1-0 pretty much most of this team. I don't think there's really any player that can outlast the Vygar full burst except for maybe Camille or Nocturne.
Yeah, and this moment actually is super important for these guys. They're going to see Robo Monkey out, and they don't connect the hook, but if they did, it could be a really different fight. They actually might be able to catch him still. They are going over the wall to try to find the damage, and they will get her down. Okay, Yo Daddy's Daddy on the backside. They're looking for the damage onto him right here. A nice Camille ultimate's going to lock him down in place, but he's going to jump away. Now it's a fight for the Drake, and it goes over to Nocturne. It's a 2-for-2 right now, but I think it is at the cost of everyone's life. Raka had backed, and Sensei Randals took advantage of that moment.
Yeah, Waffle's basically saying, hey, I'm going to choose to win the team fight over this Drake right now, which I think is totally fine. They might be able to turn this into a Baron play. Unfortunately, there are super minions pushing through topside, so they won't have that Urgot to play around. But saying, hey, you know, it's going to be 2-2 Drakes. I'm going to win the team fight and look for this Baron instead.
Yeah, they are looking for the Baron. St. Valentine and Fury
don't have an
is
extremely fast take.
This is nerve-wracking. I don't think this is smart.
The Viger will get there pretty soon.
The ultimate's coming in, though. It's very easy to hit this one. Okay, he's getting hit out by the Camille right now. He's on the backside. That ult was a really good attempt. They do have the Baron. They're as 5 right now. They might be able to get out of this one. And if they do, now they're in a very good position to try to come back and win this game.
See, it's the THC does have Baron curse doesn't apply to Waffles and Xavier when they're not on THC. They get Baron. I don't know. It's free. Who are you even favoring right now? Because I actually in this small sliver of a lull, I don't actually know who I think is gonna win this game at all. I have no idea.
I think that the tricks that are up Silver Driller's sleeves might be running out. They need to make another tricky play. The way they're winning this game is intense in creative macro, and unless Sensei Randals make a big misstep, they don't have a way back into this game. I think they need to be creative again. I think they're going to use this splitting Camille. Hey, Viger's getting back. He should have teleport up pretty soon, though.
They have to use this Baron though, right? Like
Besides Sensei Randals
with Urgot.
Yeah, you just 4-1 with Urgot. You can actually 1-3-1 as long as you have eyes on Nocturne. That's the big issue here. It's so difficult to try to split up. You might actually just want to group over trying to have any type of split, win another team fight, and see if you can get an inhib open, because yours is back up now.
I mean, you just push through mid or play Nocturne on, or play Urgot on side lane. Yeah, I don't think you can actually 1-3-1 super well. I mean, I guess you can if you have eyes on Nocturne, like you're saying, but I think it's tough to 1-3-1.
I think.
Just because any of their side, besides maybe Urgot, like they all kind of just get bursted instantly by Nocturne.
I think I'm giving this game right now to Sensei Randals. Based on the experience that their players have, some of them are up in levels. I know they're not in the jungle, but I mean, dude, it's 8 kills over there. I think Kevaz Allergies has been playing super, super well in this entire series. His deaths are mostly from the earlier fights. He got picked off by Nocturne. He's playing difficult champ. Exhaust is up for everybody, and honestly, I just think that favors Sensei Randals more. If the 2 big melee champs can't get onto the ranged ones effectively and take them out, I think it's set and done. But really nice pick, and they should be able to pick them off right there. That is exactly what they need if they're going to try to win this game. That kind of creative play over the wall, looking for the picks, that is the way back in.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I say I don't know who's going to win this game. It's because like my instincts say, okay, the side of Sensei Randals, does have a comp that I generally favor, and does have better late game scaling, but they just have so much setup for Nocturne. It's kind of ridiculous. Like the pick potential out of Silver Driller is just kind of insane, and they've been able to find it with Ashe and Lux like throughout the entire game. Like they know how to play through the Nocturne. Whether or not they always are able to do it is not necessarily
nice
true,
double hit, and the ultimate gonna land onto him. Xerath following with the damage, not quite finishing him off. A really nice flash and heal from them, and here comes the teleport. It is Camille coming in, and so is Urgot, but they should be able to pick up Waffles. A nice cage is locking 2 of them in place, though, and they can get some more poke off. It can be very effective. Lucian is now in the fight. This is going to be a 4v5, as we already know. Nautilus has fallen, but they can't pressure too much more. They're going to look to get their 3rd Drake of the game, as it's up in about 29 seconds. They're waiting for a play. Oh, wait. Is that enough? A flash forward from both of these guys. You're going to have to flash away as well. Robo Monkey was almost low enough for Yo Daddy to just be able to pull him in. A good use of the stopwatch right there. Oh, my lord. Oh, my lord. It's so much.
Some low HP bars. I mean, they do have numbers advantage, but they're kind of low. It's a little tough to make this fight.
And they start this up. One has already backed. St. Valentine's in that bush. They're going to see the silence come out and a lot of damage be dropped onto them as Yo Daddy's Daddy is trying to pressure Frankie away from it. Can they get any type of damage onto it? They can't, so that's the third Drake over to them. On the backside, a lot of damage falling onto them as well. A nice use of the ultimate from Frankie to pick up a kill. It's a 2-for-1, but now they are outnumbered themselves. And a 4-to-3 type of battle that could go on. Obviously, Baron not up for a minute and a half. Oh, really good ult.
Yeah, and I think Silver Drillers again got kind of caught out being indecisive there.
Talk about getting caught out. Look at the damage coming out from these guys as they catch out Lux, and now they can really cram up the mid lane.
I think that in general, the fights around Dragon, like that fight that just happened, have been kind of tough for Silver Drillers. They just are a little bit split up and don't seem to be fighting cohesively.
Huge ultimate as they're going to find more damage onto these guys, and the follow-up CC is pretty massive. And look at the way they just throw her around like a rag doll and send her back to the fountain.
Nice. Getting that tower is pretty big. Trying to crack this base is going to be really important to set up for next Baron if possible. We are not seeing a lot of vision control out of Silver Drillers for topside, so they might just look for a cheese here and see what they can find.
Yeah, and they are doing exactly that. Can they get the stun onto Frankie? Able to use that really brave use to block the spell shield right there. Now Gluttony could be in some big trouble. The ultimate of Urgot does miss onto her. She's getting some distance, but that slow might mean it's all over as the hook lands. A huge ultimate from the side of Lux, though, isn't able to finish off Casualties as they get the stun. They get the repeat CC. They should be able to grab the inhib right now. Wow, Lux does so much damage. Almost finished off Xavier right there.
Yeah,
so
Lux damage is insane, but ultimately, Sensei Randal was playing that fight a little bit better, looking for picks where they needed it. They knew they had division control in that jungle. They knew they could find openings to take out the side of Silver Drillers, and they just played it well. I would have liked to see a little bit of blue trinket use out of the side of Silver Drillers. I think that could have helped them walk into that jungle a little bit more safely. Because ultimately, right now, it means that Baron is going to kind of go over to the side of Sensei Randall's. They just
Nocturne
don't
is
have...
up. A very early ultimate from Lux will not secure it right there. They don't have any teleport available to try to sneak his inhib up in the top lane either. Ashe ult was actually very close. That splash damage could have taken it if the smite, or if enough damage didn't come out. Actually, there was no smite on.
The man is... He's on point with the Ashe ultimates. Gluttony.
I will say that's very true, but they are one Drake away from having Raka Lux with Ocean Soul, and that's going to make Nocturne and Camille so hard to kill.
Yeah, they're one Drake away. I think Sensei Randall's probably wins the next Drake fight based solely on the fights I've seen before. They do have the Drake advantage, but
Waffles is really far up. He actually could get pinched right here.
Has mid lane pushing with super minions. Waffles is kind of getting caught out, which is definitely what you don't want to see.
This is not what you want to have happen. He does get some CC off in the end, but now that front line is gone. Yo Daddy's Daddy in a poor position now. Yes, they have that inhib down. They're going to try to chase him down.
You can't contest this anymore, though, if you're Sensei Randall's.
Here comes some damage, though. They're trying to trade onto Frankie. Hawkshot's going to get vision right now, and they're going to go right over the wall. The cage is going to come out, but it's not going to do enough. Any stun actually is coming out. A really nice use of the E from Xerath, but he gets popped in the end by the Lux ultimate as she just blows them up, makes the score 24-24. But the gold lead now actually is Sensei Randall's.
Yeah, gold lead is Sensei Randall's.
They're backing. They're backing. It's in a minute.
We'll see what happens here. This is going to be... it's going to be highly contested. Waffle's getting pretty caught out of position there, which is something I haven't seen
Get out of here.
out of him a ton around these dragon fights. I think he's just getting a little bit too confident in his tank stats. and playing just a little bit too far up there. As Xavier looks to clear out some of this vision, which is super important based on how they play this fight. You really wanted to deny Silver Driller's vision for that Nocturnal.
Daddy's Daddy lurking patiently is going to get spotted out by a ward, but clear it instantly. The vision cone finally getting hit by Raka. There's actually a deep ward in the back of that pit that they have not seen or cleared.
I think do they see it?
There's supers in the base right now, and they're going to start stacking pretty soon. Oh, they're in a really tight corner. If you get a Vygar cage right there, you could end the game in a way, but he needed to get it while they were still there.
If they play this slow, I mean, their supers just start taking towers.
Yeah. They're doing their best. Kev has allergies in a
Nocturnal
really bad spot trying to deal with this Camille, because they're also trying to deal with the onslaught of them coming in. Nocturne does not get the Drake. Urgot does, but he does get Lucian as a prize for himself. Everybody else is still fighting. The resurrection going on off screen, but a nice ultimate from Yo Daddy's Daddy is going to pick up Camille, as now Frankie and St. Valentine are going to have to run for the hills, but look at the healing that they are able to do. It is so much. Double kill, though, now for Urgot as they're looking onto St. Valentine. Should they be able to pick it up? Yes, they do. It goes over to Zerath, and now Ash is in a lot of trouble back at the base as a triple kill for Yo Daddy's Daddy comes through.
Yeah. That fight went the side.
Just like you called
the
it.
way that I thought it was going to go.
Yep.
But I like some of the plays that Silver Driller is dishing out. I mean, I definitely commend them for trying. And these aren't, like, super one-sided by any means. It's just, unfortunately, for them, Sensei Randal's just kind of able to find those leads.
Yeah, and he should be able to pick up Gluttony as well right now. That ultimate should come through, and he's just going to slice her up in his belly. And
dude, Urgot's execution is always just a joy to watch. Yo Daddy's Daddy's showing up really well on these top lane picks.
36.5 minutes in. A little bit past that now.
Yeah.
One inhib down on the side of Silver Drillers as their mid inhib comes right back up.
Mm-hmm.
An open inhib, but not down, on the side of Sensei Randals. And none of them have soul.
No.
And it's basically, with death timers and the ability that these teams can go through, if any team gets an ace and has any three players alive, the game's going to end.
Yeah. Yeah, this is actually incredibly... Despite there being a bit of a gold lead on the side of Sensei Randall still, the 3-3 Drakes make this incredibly close game. The gold lead combined with that inhibitor down does, give Sensei Randall a bit of an advantage at
and they're just looking for a hook right now. As Waffles
their team
just charges
also
in.
grouped together like this. I think their team does have a big advantage just in an open area where they are not able to get picked off by Nocturne.
It makes Camille less useful too. Camille being able to dash onto that backline and match that Nocturne dive has been super important for these team fights. If they can pick up Kev, or if they can pick up Rat House or Xavier or any of the weaker points, and talking about picking one up, look at all the damage coming out onto Rat House, but the exhaust is exactly what they needed. He drops the stopwatch, he drops the exhaust, and they are all safe. And now the person who might be in trouble is Robo Monkey. The exhaust drop from Yo Daddy's Daddy, though. Oh, look at the ultimate. The damage comes out. Xavier just popping these guys as Gluttony's trying to chip away at the front line, but they're not able to do too much as Yo Daddy's Daddy trying to get on the backside of this. A nice hook here from Waffles means they might be able to pick up the kill, but he's taking tower shots. He's going to go down as well. They get the GA from these guys. Gluttony going to be able to flash away, and look at the healing that St. Valentine can do. This is the danger of this right now. Really good placed cage to keep him safe there. Xavier almost in big trouble.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous how that fight turned because, I mean, the Nocturne ulti was a little bit overzealous because Camille wasn't even there. I mean, Burr hadn't even gotten close by, and their team was split up. Yet it got flipped over and ended up being a 3-for-2, which is kind of ridiculous. I will say, they did lose the inhibitor at the end of the day, so the deaths I think don't matter as much as that inhibitor now.
Yep.
So even though they get, Silver Drillers did get an advantage as far as winning the fight, kill for kill wise.
Yep.
They lost the inhibitor, and these major objectives. Baron is up.
Soul point.
Soul Point is going to be up soon. They have 3 inhibitors down. It's looking really tough just not having any of your base. Really, only just the single tower left in your base up.
Yeah, if Sensei Randos can even just bait you to stay at a major objective for any amount of time, they can bleed you dry, or at least wait until they see someone defending the base, and then all in you and know they have numbers advantage. And yeah, it could be Camille who has teleport up, and yeah, it could be Nocturne who can get there pretty quickly. But if you don't have Nocturne already near there, it's a free objective.
Yeah, if you're Sensei Randalls, you just play these objectives super slow and just let the inhibitors or let the super minions slowly crash in, and then as soon as they send one back to deal with supers, you just take it for free.
Yeah.
If their macro is played well,
yeah, they're gonna catch some damage on the St. Valentine, but
for free.
Rat House almost getting caught out by Lux right there as well. They're going to have to keep up the vision game to make sure they don't get picked off, because if they do, this could be a crazy backward sweep into a 3-game series as, never mind. Goodbye, St. Valentine.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much
Teleport's already coming in. They're just going to look to end the game. They stop Robomonkey's back. They weren't even playing for the objectives. They were playing to end this game, and Xavier brave enough to try to just stop these guys on the back end. It is Yo Daddy's daddy that will finally kill the Nexus. And a 2-game series, like predicted by Not Jerome.
Wow.
Sensei Randalls wins.
Yeah, well done on Xavier finding that pick. I think at that point, the game was kind of inevitable. But closing out really strong on that Vigar. All of these players from Sensei Randall's playing really well. That series, that second game did look a lot closer, and I will give a lot of props to Silver Drillers start to get that ball rolling early on, playing really well as a team, looking for picks, playing through the Camille ultimates really well, and just empowering that Nocturne to get these savage backline picks. Ultimately, though, Sensei Randall's just coming back strong, slowing the game down, playing the macro well, getting inhibitors, getting towers slowly, playing those Drake fights a little bit better, and winning the game.
I think when you go back and you watch this, and if you're doing a VOD review for either team, there's a lot of really pivotal moments, and there's a couple Sensei Randalls got lucky on, and there's a couple that maybe were mistakes from Silver Drillers that let Sensei get back into the game and make it a contest. And it could have been a little bit of luck, could have been a miscommunication, but I think one really big pivotal play that would be interesting to look at, especially if we knew what they were saying in comms, both teams, that being said, is Nocturne early game on that Rift Herald chooses not to use that ultimate to come on into that fight in the mid lane that started maybe not a giant swing in the favor of Sensei Randalls, but it let them have a breath in the game. And sometimes letting them have that breath, and they got to collect their thoughts, and now they start to make a little bit better plays, and now they're only 3K behind instead of 6. Now it's a pretty big thing to start thinking about. Now they have some mid lane pressure. Now they can get their wards deeper. I mean, that play alone was such a high risk, high reward thing that you were trying to do, which is something Silver Drillers likes, and I think game 2 they played infinitely better. I think they looked super clean. They took the reins in game 2, and props to Sensei Randalls for grabbing them back and being able to close it out. But man, what a series this was, and it was only 2 games.
Yeah, I really think you hit the nail on the head there with taking the reins in that early game. The mid game, things got shaken up. They made some big mistakes around those team fights, which ultimately led to their defeat. But they never really rolled back and gave up. And I really just commend them for getting shut down pretty hard game 1, honestly, and just coming back really strong and playing aggressive, playing an interesting and aggressive comp that had clear win conditions. Who the fuck is Gluttony?
Who is this man? Does he have some type of magnetic R button? What the hell was that game?
Yeah, that was insane. The ultimates were insane. But yeah, and also just shout out to we didn't talk a ton about Rat House in game 2. We talked a lot about it in game 1, but if you look at the damage graphs, just pretty crazy damage on that Zeraf. Really high numbers. 3rd most damage in the game. I will say pretty insane.
Behind the two
of a
mid
support
laners,
pick.
right, who got to actually CS. So
Yeah.
it, it's scary thing, and he got double banned. So I mean, you're looking at
No.
next series. You're looking at where these teams can go.
Take away a
Obviously,
lot.
Silver Drillers, that's their first series they lost, so they're actually now in the losers bracket.
Mm-hmm.
We could see these two end up playing against each other again, and I think now that Silver Drillers are a little bit more comfortable, I think they were a little shaken up game one, and by that I mean they hadn't found their footing yet. They're a little flat-footed in the way they were playing. They weren't being aggressive early game. This game, if they come into a series every game with the energy and the playmaking ability they had in this one, even though they ended up losing that mid lane fight, they got the Herald, and then they used it top. They cracked the inhib. They were able to use that pressure to also get mid tower. I mean, they made really advanced macro plays that are super important to see in economy. They just couldn't close it out. And I think if they come into more games the way they did to this one, you're going to see closer series. You're going to